Here's part 2 of the what to nerf on every character video. So we did part 1 already. Fucking check that shit out. If you haven't watched part 1, I'm gonna put a card right here, right now. Okay? So we're like fucking 10, 15 seconds into the video. There's the card for part 1. Watch that first, then come back to this, unless you're just looking for one of the characters that are in this video, because we're talking about the second 20 characters in this game. The bottom, or the other 20, not the bottom 20. There's a lot of broken characters today. So today, starting off with Lili. Lili is a very well-balanced character in this game. There's a fuck ton of counterplay to her shit already. So really the stuff that I want dealt with, there's only 2 real things I think are a problem. You could talk about the feisty rabbit makes at the wall, but that's a situational thing. The counterplay to that would be typically you just want to stay on the ground unless you don't want to get looped with voila. The voila we'll talk about in a minute. That is one of the things I think should be toned down just a bit to account for that. But the first thing that I think she needs toning down is this fucking stupid move. This is a high. It's her new move from Season 2. If you stand up too early to punish, then you can get clipped by the second hit. So you have to commit to the duck if you think she's going to do this, and be fucking, you better hope that you don't stand up too early and get killed by this. The other problem I have with this fucking move is that it's a homing move. It doesn't have homing properties, but if you don't time the sidestep absolutely fucking perfectly, and it has to be to the opposite side that you typically want to step Lili, but as you see here, I'm leisurely sidewalking her to the right. You can't step this move to the left at all. Sidewalk right mistimed by a slight amount is still going to get you fucked up, so you have to absolutely perfectly time your sidewalk right. If you don't, you're going to get fucked up. Reduce the shit out of the tracking of this move. The classic counterplay to Lili, and the classic identity that Lili had as designed by the devs when she was well designed in 5DR, Tekken 6, Tekken 7, Tekken Tag 2, Lili is amazing at movement. That's her strength. And her weakness, ironically, is also fucking movement. Right? That's how you beat the character. That's how you play the character. You gotta sidewalk left at a distance, or sidewalk right at a distance. Like, get her at range 2.5, 3, and then fucking start sidewalking all day. This is how you fight the character. Once, force the Lili to mix up the timing, and then, you're playing Tekken at that point, right? Lili has to think. But then you give her a move like this, and all of a sudden all that shit just goes out the fucking window. There's no thinking involved anymore. She just gets to skip neutral and beat your ass with plus frames. Yes, you can sidestep right into duck, but this should not have nearly as much tracking as it does. I should be able to leisurely sidewalk right any fucking time and dodge that every day, anytime she wants, right? Because typically sidewalk left is how you beat her, so that should account for sidewalk left, but it should not track at all to sidewalk right. Not at all. I shouldn't have to time my sidewalk right. I should just be allowed to do it. So, while running 1+2 is too much for Lili. It's a crazy pressure tool for her that just deletes her weakness. And what they did with Season 2 was they deleted weaknesses of characters, and they homogenized the cast. A lot of characters got their weaknesses back, like Kazuya. I lost my homing move because we're a very loud voice in the community. Kazuya players, Kazuya mains are very passionate about their character, and we want our character to be who he is supposed to be, And giving him a fucking homing move that's mid, that's fairly fast, all things considered, fast for him anyways, is deleting his weaknesses. Oh, someone's sidewalking you left? Boom, no they're not. So, fuck that. So they got rid of that for Kazuya. Awesome, great. Now let's start doing the same thing to every character, please. Right? Lili is the next one, I think, that, not the next one, but this is a weakness deleting move that needs to fucking be toned down, because it just... Stop getting rid of character weaknesses. That's how we identify with the character. The other thing that I think needs to go is this shit is totally fair in the neutral. -11 on block. That's totally fine. I'm not asking for frames on this move. It's a perfectly reasonable move. My issue with this move is the damage that she does on the fucking ground with this shit. This is an Oki tool for Lili, and that's totally fine. But holy motherfuck, the damage is ridiculous. She can just loop this shit, and that damage is too much. This should do half the damage. It does 22 currently. If this did 11, I'd be fine with that. Because that would inherently nerf her feisty rabbit mix at the wall, which is another problem a lot of people have with Lili. And she would still have a good, really solid Oki tool, but it wouldn't be disgusting like it is right now. Lili is not an Oki-centric character, typically. She's a create whiff punish opportunity, use movement, and build momentum that way with the opponent, and mix your opponent up with using mind games in their face, with your back turn, with your feisty rabbit, with your fucking, tricky shit like up 3+4, and crazy long range attacks as well. Keep out is another style of how you play Lili. So giving her a top tier Oki tool again kind of goes against the identity of the character. Every character deserves Oki tools, but she doesn't need one that's that fucking damaging on the ground. Voila, should be toned the fuck down. So yeah, that's all I got for Lili. I don't think she needs more than that, and I think she's actually quite a super well-balanced character at the moment. So, awesome character, always love Lili. Nina is one of the most problematic, most broken characters in the game, objectively speaking. Like, there's no question about it. She's probably top 2 right now, best characters, like Reina or Anna. She's between Anna and Brian right now. Her, Anna, Brian, Asuka, Claudio, those are like my top 5 characters in the game at the moment. I think they're almost everybody's top 5 at the moment. So she has a lot of issues, and I think a huge thing that would go in favor of nerfing this bitch is having this no longer be a counter hit launcher. Because we don't get to... This is a jailing string. Down forward 1-2 is jailing, and then you have to duck the 3rd hit. So she doesn't have to go for this. She can opt to do something else. She can do down forward 1-2, hold forward crouch dash. She can do down forward 1-2, hold up sidestep into Heihachi step. She can do down forward 1-2, whatever the fuck, right? She's got a lot of options, okay? And from these options here, the scariest one from her down forward 1-2 mix is the down forward 1-2 4. Because as soon as you want to challenge, as soon as you think, okay, she's been doing a fuck ton of Heihachi steps, she's constantly either neutral or barely minus in my face, and there's a lot of built-in evasion for a lot of her moves. So trying to jab check something is almost always out of the question. Nina's just building up pressure without actually having the frames. It's a really weird concept. Nina can pressure you while being minus. It's because she evades a lot with the crouch dash and the Heihachi steps and stuff like this, forcing you to respect her, even though she's technically minus. Down forward 1-2 is -5, but you can make it -1 or neutral, depending on what you do next. And the thing about that is, those frames are fair. You cannot respect the Nina a lot of the time, and you'll often win those exchanges. So they gave her this to counteract that. The problem is Nina just does way too much fucking damage on combos right now. So overall, the damage for her needs to be nerfed. Overall. But this should also no longer be a counter hit launch. This should be like a guaranteed follow-up on hit. That's fine. Knockdown on hit, guaranteed follow-up with forward, hold 1+2. The charge, fucking blonde bomb shit that she does. That would be a fair follow-up in my opinion. But a full fucking combo is too much. Because it's forcing us to respect the Nina because we're afraid for our life here. Even though she's not really at plus frames. So she's getting a pressure tool, essentially, with the down forward 1. Her down forward 1 becomes a pressure tool at that point. And that's disgusting. So making it less egregious by making this no longer a counter hit launch would go a long way to nerfing the character as a whole. Next up, what the fuck is this? This is genuinely stupid design. I hate this shit. This is dumb. This is genuinely dumb. I can't duck this. So the second hit is a high, but you can't fucking duck it. It's a jailing string, it's safe on block, it's mid-mid. If they connect with the first 2 hits, they can do back 2-2-2, and it's a wall-splatting, 3-hit, confirmable, counter-hit, fucking 50-something damage move. It's insane. So, this shit doesn't need to exist. We could make back 2 better on block. So right now, back 2 on block is -14. So give this better frames on block. Give it like -9 properties so she's not gambling with her life. Because this shit is ridiculous right now. -6. You can't do anything about it. And even if she finishes the string and you block the third hit, not thinking she's going to do something at the end there, you have to duck that third hit. But it's counterintuitive because you want to duck the second hit, but you can't. So, make this single hit, -9 on block. Make this not a jailing string anymore. This should just be a 12-frame punish for Nina. Right? Turning a 12-frame punish into a fucking homing move that shuts down your movement is just counter Tekken logic. Right? Where's the fucking logic there? You can't make a 12-frame punish, which is what this move is, a homing move, movement shutdown tool that she can just throw out on the neutral, right? Punishment tools are not supposed to be neutral tools, but this is a really fucking great neutral tool, one of her best neutral tools. So, make the second hit duckable, and turn this into -9 instead of -14. That would be more than fair for both players. That way she still gets a 12-frame homing move, but we're not forced into a bullshit scenario where she gets to fucking be -6 in our face, potentially set up her parry that way as well, after shutting down our movement, and then she can hit confirm that as well, the first 2 hits into a third hit that then can wall splat for over 50 damage before she does the combo. No, it's all too much. You should be able to duck that second hit. Just increase the frames of the first hit, and it'll be fair. This is another problem. Holy fuck. So you can obviously, if she's gonna just do this shit, you can hold duck and then get your launch. But at the wall here, first of all, what is that? Chip damage? Fucking insane chip damage. And then 55 fucking damage. 55 damage? Are you fucking out of your mind, Famco? This does almost as much damage as my launching twin pistons. And then she gets a full combo after that. She wall splats, she gets her fucking tornado spin. So the thing there, like we said earlier with the damage in general, is the damage needs to be nerfed. Like, that should do maybe 40 damage. 55 damage is crazy for a 13-frame punish when the character has so many other properties that make them a problem already. So, fuck 55 damage, 13-frame punish that wall splats and wall breaks, and actually wall splats from a million miles away. She can fucking wall break and wall splat with those guns in heat from halfway across the fucking stage if she ends the combo with those guns. And that's very easy to do. In fact, that's what most Nina players will do, because it's a great combo ender. So if you're going to make that a really good combo ender, you should decrease the damage a little bit. It's just too much fucking damage. She needs to be... Her damage needs to be toned down in general, man. This is another piece of shit scenario. I don't like this crap at all. First of all, the chip damage on this needs to go down. So chip damage needs nerfs in general. But Nina has some of the highest chip damage in the game because of these fucking guns. But this move is also bullshit, because in heat especially, it deletes your gray health and then you take extra damage from the guns. Why is this a gray health deleting mechanic? It's a 16-frame whip punish tool. This is 16-frame whip punishment. At the wall, I get my gray health deleted and I get wall splat. Why in the fuck does that wall splat? So this shouldn't wall splat and it shouldn't delete gray health. That's just too many fucking properties baked into one fucking move. And guess what? This shit is -9 off block, dude. Oh, my bad, it's -4. Also, I thought it was -9. Unbelievable. This is another jailing scenario. Nina's got a lot of those. Even though these guns are all high, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't duck those fucking bullets. So something's got to give here. Get rid of the fucking gray health deleting mechanic in general in this fucking game. And that shit there, if it's gonna delete gray health, it should not fucking wall splat. Something's got to fucking give, dude. There's too much. That's way too ridiculous. She's just shutting down one of your resources for free and then doing a fuck ton of damage to you on top of that. No, that's automatically a problem. You don't even have to think about that. And the last thing I'll discuss with Nina that needs a genuine nerf is the heat smash. If I sidestep it to the left, funnily enough, I can then duck the guns. But then, here's the issue. If I stand up too early, I get fucked up by the guns. And that's so easy to do. Look at that. That was the last shot she did. The last bullet she did. What the fuck, dude? Can we please make it so Heat Smashes whiff the first hit and then stop the animation right there? I hate these fucking Heat Smashes that have a second, third, fourth hit involved after they've already whiffed the first fucking hit. Why does the animation fucking continue? Drives me crazy, man. So this is a complaint that everybody has universally with these characters and these Heat Smashes. So that shit has to go as well. So I think if you just change these properties and nerf the damage entirely with this character in a lot of ways, especially her combo damage, I think that this would be she'd be a lot more balanced than she currently is, and she would still be really strong. So we don't need to destroy every character in this fucking game, but we certainly need to tone down the bullshit. And there's all we've talked about so far is bullshit with this character. That's it for Nina for now. As far as I can tell, I'm trying to think of something else that might need some nerfs with her because she's got a lot of problems. But those are the main things that come to mind for me, and chat seems to be pretty in agreement with this too. Panda is the next character on the list. Panda's a lot stronger than Kuma. We already talked about Kuma in the previous video, but for Panda, she clearly needs this shit to be nerfed to fucking all the way through. This is a ridiculous fucking setup. The throw is untechable. You can't break the throw. Okay, and she gets that wall splat on the wall, guaranteed. Forward 2-1 for Panda. Into bound, into the bear combo, into bear ass, which we already talked about with Kuma. Again, that shit needs to go. And part of the reason for that is because of that stupid fucking wall splat after the throw. So what they can do to make this a little more fair is they can, A, delete the bear ass combo so that we're not getting a fucking bear ass in our face at the fucking end of a combo on the wall, or they can just outright eliminate the wall splat from that throw, because that throw sets that entire sequence up that we just said is bullshit with the bear ass. So I think spike combos in general need to go universally. So the bear ass would then just inherently be gone if that were to happen in this game. But I don't think they're going to do that, so if they're not going to do that, this should not wall splat anymore. What this throw should guarantee is maybe a jab, like a 1-1 or a 1-2 or something. Fine, I'm cool with that. Give Panda a free jab or a 1-2 or a 2-1, 2-1-3 or some shit, you know. But do not give her a wall splat into a full combo if you're going to add the bear ass combo as a thing at the end of that too. So this is problem number one with Panda that is clearly why she's stronger than Kuma. And the other reason is this shit in Heat. Holy motherfuck. There's nothing you can do here. There is nothing you can do. You have to respect. You can potentially jab interrupt. But knowing when to jab interrupt is very difficult, so you can jab interrupt that. But if you don't jab interrupt, she can do other things as well. If you try to dick jab here, you can't because she's airborne. So you can only jab interrupt, or you can try to power crush. Either way, you're still taking fucking damage. Power crush is shit counterplay. That's not counterplay. I leave that exempt from the fucking counterplay. Power crush is not counterplay to shit. So Panda is putting you in the situation where she's at plus 12 after the bicycle kicks. Plus fucking 12 after a mid. A 16 frame mid connects in Heat. And it doesn't even delete her fucking Heat bar. It doesn't even delete much of the Heat bar. She can do this like 4 times in Heat. It's insane. So that needs to be toned the fuck down. Plus 12 is not necessary. She can also, after she does this, she does the ass stomp, and then she rolls into another exchange. That roll is plus 14, and then she can do a guard break, she can do a mid launcher, that's also launch punishable by you, but you have to block the launcher for that to happen. She can do a sliding kick that knocks you down and guarantees Oki follow-up. And then she can also do another bicycle kick to set you up again. So, just too much fucking blender bullshit. And the chip damage, even if you just block this whole sequence, all this shit is gonna add up. She does it 3 times against you. I've lost like fucking 50 damage of health just from blocking. So, no, that's disgusting. Plus 12 on block, neuter the frames on block. This should be maybe plus 6. Cut the frames in half so we can at least try to sidestep or something. Or we can maybe counter hit the follow-up or something. Like, make it so the Panda has to do anything besides the ass stomp. You know, do anything else. Do something else after the bicycle kicks. I just think that's an awful sequence to try to deal with. You can't step out of the way. There's nothing you can do here. There's no movement. You can power crush, but again, you're taking damage here. If you try to interrupt after the stomp or after the ass stomp, she just fucks you right up. So you have to interrupt after the bicycle kicks. That's the only time you can interrupt. So you can try like a 12 frame move. 13 frames will trade. You have 12 frames to interrupt here. 12 frames in between the initial bicycle kicks and the ass stomp. And it's just not enough. We need to be able to play with our frames a little bit more. That's way too much pressure. You're forcing us to guess by pressing one button, and it's a 16 frame mid that doesn't take that much heat, that she can loop over and over and over again, and then just kill you with chip damage. And she's got the guard break after the roll as well. So you're fucked if you just block. If all you're doing is blocking to try to respect her and wait out the clock of the fucking heat bar, she can then finish the sequence with the guard break and kill you anyways. So guard breaks need to go universally. Again, like I mentioned last video, and this sequence needs to go from like plus 12 to plus 6. Even then, it'll still be good. She can still do stuff after the bicycle kicks. But you can also do things. It's not limiting your counterplay to one option, and that being a jab interrupt. That's awful. So, yeah, tone that shit down. And that's really all we got going on with Panda, because otherwise the bears are fairly well balanced in this game right now. Kuma's pretty much fine. A couple of things that are not a huge problem, but need some addressing, especially with the bear ass combo. But that also applies to this bitch. And she's got the stupid heat shit on top of that. So Panda's genuinely stronger than Kuma by a large margin. Paul's one of the least problematic characters in the game, in my opinion, right now. He's got some insane fucking damage, but that's kind of his nature. That's what Paul is supposed to do. Kazuya, Heihachi, Brian, Paul, they're all known for having top-tier fucking damage in the game, in the history of Tekken in general. So them having high damage is not a problem. It's stuff like this that needs an address. The recovery frames of forward 2 are really fucking, look at that. They didn't say punish there. That's not a punish. So if I make him block now, look at those recovery frames. That is fucked up. That's like more than electric. And all he did was forward 2. Right? If I call this out and block and duck him for doing this, I have to do my twin pistons if I want to ensure that I get a launch here. So let's lower the recovery frames. He's not throwing out a fucking electric. He's pressing forward 2. That's a one-button attack. It's a heat engager. It launches in heat. 13 frames fast. It's a long-range punish for Paul as well. It's a very strong attack. Even tracks somewhat to his weak side. Like, it's a really fucking good move for Paul. There's no reason he should have virtually no recovery frames on whiff. Like, that's a bit too much. So tone the shit out of those down. But I should have no problems pulling off my well standing 2 if I call this out anytime, no matter what. I shouldn't have to just like immediately stand up into well standing 2. So that needs to go. Just add some more recovery frames onto the move and keep it exactly as it is, and it will be fine. The next thing is obviously the guard break. So obviously it only exists in heat. So after this, he gets a guaranteed shoulder, or he gets a guaranteed back 1-2. 12 frame attacks or less, Paul gets for free. I don't think guard break should exist in general, period. This is mostly only used as an Oki tool, but it's still a guard break. And on the ground, it's even more of a problem sometimes. We'll talk about how bad it can actually get in a minute here, but this is some ridiculous nonsense. Guard breaks should go universally, as I've said a million times, but Paul's is no exception. So that's one thing that needs to just outright be deleted, not just toned down. This is also a weird fucking thing. So you got the while standing 1-2 into back sway, which gives him +1, and then he can fucking do whatever he wants from there. And the issue I have with this is the tracking, man. The tracking for this fucking string is absurd. You're gonna get clipped by at least the one most of the time. A perfectly timed sidewalk left will deal with the string in due fashion. But the issue is, sidewalk left isn't where you want to go against Paul. He's got shit that's going to kill you for trying to do that, like down forward 2, for example. Safe down forward 2. So, you don't want to step Paul to the left. You always want to go to the right. That dodges all his horseshit, all the scary stuff that he can do. You want to backdash, sidestep right. And that's how you beat Paul in the neutral. So giving him a tool like while standing 1-2 that tracks to the weak side like that is, again, deleting weaknesses for characters that nobody asked for to delete. So please let this be a little more linear. It being +1 on block is fine, because you can still sidestep, right, duck, everything from the sway options. All of his sway stuff, even though he's plus, everything that he can do from sway, sidestep, right, duck, beat the entire fucking stance. Until Paul starts delaying his shit. And then at that point, you can counter it interrupt. So there's always counterplay to Paul's stuff. That's after you block that move. If you're sidewalking, you're gonna get fucking smoked by it. So let's have that be a little less tracking, right? It's supposed to be a pressure tool. It's not supposed to be a homing move. This is basically a homing move. This deletes his weakness, the sidestep right, sidewalk right. So, tone down the tracking on while standing 1-2, for sure, no question. Death Fist and Heat can wall splat from really fucking far away, as you see there, right? I think we should tone down the wall splat from that range. That's insane. A lot of the chat agrees with that. It's a very, very frustrating scenario to deal with. You get smoked by a fucking Death Fist and Heat, which you can't even punish because it's only -13, which means my wall stand or my back 4 is not going to hit here. I mean, it hit there, but that's because he wasn't blocking. Back 4 is my long-range punish for dealing with Death Fist, and I don't get to do that there because he's only -13. His Death Fist essentially becomes safe in Heat, and that can be fine if it doesn't wall splat from Timbuk fucking 2. Or you can make it -17 again, and then I wouldn't have a problem with the wall splat that it currently has with how far away it wall splats, because then at least we can deal with it with our long-range punishers. The other thing that's really interesting about Paul, that I think is kind of fucked up, that the chat just brought up, is this sequence here. So counter it, sidestep 3 into shit at the wall, right? This is all guaranteed at the wall. So if I press a button here, which, sidestep 3, if you're getting hit by sidestep 3, and it's a counter hit, and you're against the wall, you're playing badly. You're playing into the Paul player's hands, and you're mashing out of turn, most likely, or your timing sucks, or whatever the fuck. You're playing like shit. If this connects on counter hit, and you're against the wall, this sequence, you basically deserve this. You deserve to lose all that health because you're playing like a fucking scrub right now. This doing this much fucking damage. I mean, Paul is known for his damage, and that's okay, but this is fucking crazy, man. I can't even get up, so it's all guaranteed. That's just guaranteed fucking damage. So, crazy fucking sequence. But the only thing I can think of that would be a good nerf to that is toning down some damage here and there, like the down 1+2, maybe that could lose a few points of damage. You could tone down a little bit of damage on sidestep 3, maybe. But for that one sequence, it's hard to say. The number one thing I would advocate for this to no longer really be a thing. This hit here, the one he's going for right now, this should not hit grounded anymore. He doesn't need this to hit grounded. He's got great Oki options besides this. Why does that hit grounded? He doesn't need that to hit grounded. It's a lot of fucking damage, too. So, I already want the guard break removed, but that hitting grounded on top of the guard break, it breaks the sequence. It makes it so there's nothing you can do. And I'm forced to eat that at the wall. Just from one sidestep 3 counter hit. And again, if I get counter hit by a sidestep 3 against the wall, I am the one that deserves it. I played like shit there, and go ahead and kill me. That's fine. Let's fucking, wrap it up and get to the next round because I already fucked up more than I'm willing to face. But that's still pretty disgusting, so a little bit of damage toning down would not hurt that at all. Besides the 3 damage toned down, like I said, making it so that last hit doesn't hit grounded. Down 1 plus 2 shoulder shouldn't do that much damage anyways because it's kind of a fucking panic tool. It's not really even that good of a move, but players that play Paul seem to love the fuck out of that move. That's pretty much it. That sums up Paul. I don't think he needs any more nerfs. I don't want to delete shit from the character altogether because he's got, he's still got some semblance of his identity in this game still. He's one of the few characters besides Kazuya that can safely say that he's still somewhat who he used to be. He's still Paul, he still hits like a fucking truck, he's still a one-hit machine, he's not a string-heavy stance-based bullshit character, he doesn't have an install. Paul is a cheap bitch. He's a lot less honest than Kazuya in this game, but at least he still plays some Tekken. Can't really say that about the majority of the cast. So I don't think Paul deserves to be neutered, but I think he deserves to be toned down quite a bit, like everybody else does. So that's it for Paul. Next up, we got Raven here, and we already discussed Raven in the How to Kill Raven video. He is incredibly well balanced. This is one of the best balanced characters in this game right now, in Season 2, at the end of Season 2. Mark my fucking words. If you think this guy is a problem, you need to hit the fucking gym, hit the lab, figure out what the hell is going on with this character, because he is not a problem. Very well balanced, but of course it's Tekken 8, so there are things that need to be toned down. We can talk about his down forward 1, I think. This move is crazy good, because it's a homing down forward 1. You cannot step this shit any direction. It just fucking kills you no matter what, okay? 14 frames though, but it is +8 on hit, so that's incredible. It sets up Raven's shit very, very seamlessly. But a down forward 1 that's basically homing, can we just kind of get rid of moves that just track all the place like that? Raven's down forward 1 tracking that much is a bit problematic in my opinion. If they leave that in because it is part of his identity, I don't want to remove identity concepts from characters. Maybe he's allowed to have a tracking down forward 1, but then something's got to give, right? So if you're going to give him a tracking down forward 1, I can accept that, but then this move, down back 2, should also have significant tracking nerf. Down back 2 tracks quite a bit to both sides. You can sidestep it to the right or sidewalk it right, but if you're too early or too late, then you don't get the sidestep. So it's down back 2 is basically his down forward 1 because it's 13 frames, and it tracks heavily to both sides. You can't step it left. You can only step it to the right, and it only on a very, very fucking on a perfect fucking step, right? The other thing about down forward 1 is it's -2 on block, right? -2 is really fucking good for a down forward 1. Anything from -1 to -3 is top tier down forward 1 category. And if you have extensions after that with your down forward 1, then it's even stronger. So if your down forward 1 is -3 with an extension, you got a top tier down forward 1. And if your down forward 1 is -2 or -1 with an extension, your down forward 1 is arguably the best in the game. And if it tracks to one side as well, holy shit, it's amazing. And Raven's is a homing down forward 1, basically. So, like, this move is really fucking stupid. But it's not that problematic given who Raven is. He is a very well-balanced character. So, they don't have to take this out of the game, but I understand why people would want that gone. Maybe sidestep it left should be a little easier. It shouldn't be completely homing like it is. Like, it genuinely seems like a homing move. I'm sure some characters might be able to step it if they preemptively move at specific ranges, but I've never been able to step it in my entire time playing Tekken. So it's a homing down forward 1 as far as I'm concerned. So either nerf the tracking on that, or nerf the tracking on down back 2. Either way, one of its 13-14 frame mid pokes should have a tracking nerf on some level. Because movement in this game is non-existent right now, and we need to... something's got to fucking give here. The other thing I think that needs a nerf is the chip damage on his clones and heat. This could use a nerf, maybe a buff as well. Like I said, Raven is incredibly well balanced, so advocating for a slight buff on this might be kind of not the worst thing in the world. Like, why is it -3? Let it be -1 neutral on block. Why not? That's fine. He's allowed to have something in heat, okay? And this is really nothing. -3, and then you try to do your pressure again after the teleport, and somebody can just mash jab and beat out everything that you want to do. So it really isn't that scary of a sequence, these clones here. But the chip damage is stupid. I don't think chip damage should have... You should never have that much fucking chip damage in a move. Chip damage is fucking dumb. But that is really the only things that I have problems with Raven. We had somebody in chat bring up this issue with Raven here. Monsi, I think it was Monsi. Yeah, it was Monsi. So, this being a launcher in heat, an automatic tornado spin launcher in heat, is pretty fucking crazy. And really fucking good. And it comes out of a pressure tool that's +7 on block if you do running 3-4. And then he's in back turn stance. And when you're that minus and he's in that stance, your only real option there is to attempt to just block. Does he need this? If you're not going to fix the clones and make them neutral on block, yeah, I'd say just leave this alone. I don't think this needs to be nerfed. It's the only scary thing the fucking guy has in heat. And it's a slow fucking move. And it's very linear, too. Like, it's fucking linear as shit. You can sidewalk it left. You can sidewalk it to the right. In fact, you can just sidestep it right. Sidestep right beats it. Sidewalk left beats it. So, I don't know. I think that this is probably a pretty fair move. Everybody knows you're going to be going for running 3 in heat. It's like the only thing you got to watch out for. That's all I got to say about Raven. He's extremely well balanced. There's really nothing to address for this character, and the running 3 could be toned down in frames a bit. Maybe make it +5 instead of +7. That way we have a little bit more leniency. We can maybe move, like sidestep left, duck. His back turn stance options, we won't be able to beat a lot of the options, but at least we'll be able to beat some of them instead of just being forced to block and then potentially die to lows or whatever. So I think that's a fair change. Reina is one of the hardest characters in the game to play. One of the better balanced characters in this game right now, but she definitely has some problems. There are some significant problems with this character, starting with this shit right here. So the tracking on War God Kick is out of this fucking world, man. Like, it is insanely hard to step this shit. War God Kick has pseudo-homing properties. Unless you're at the precise range, which I'm not even stepping it at this range. She's just not connecting with it. I have to sidewalk it left perfectly. I have to be at specific ranges. If she's at range like 2 and she goes for it, I get fucked up. See, look at that! It's insane! So, and don't even try to step this right. The other thing about it that's crazy is it's probably the best Oki tool in the game. This is like Claudio downback 1+2, Kazuya steel pedal, fucking Nina forward charge 1+2, Lili voila. No. Reina War God Kick. That's the #1 Oki tool in the fucking game right now. Because not only is it an Oki tool that hits grounded and has a massive hitbox, it launches on counter hit. I'm fucking dead. It does big damage on normal hit, so she gets 23 damage normally, so it's the same damage as a regular electric, right? And it as a fucking bonus, it wall splats. So Electric War God Kick is fucked up. It's insanely good. It's Reina's best tool. If you are struggling with this character, spam that move, and you won't struggle anymore. Simple as that. It's like, it's almost better than her actual electric. It's so fucking good. So yeah, War God Kick, the tracking needs to be toned the fuck down. Why is it? It should be a linear kick. It should be linear. Maybe a slight pixel tracking to sidewalk or sidestep right, sidestep left, maybe. But we should be able to walk it either direction. I don't know why it tracks so much to sidewalk right. Why does it track this much? And sidewalk left is super difficult too. Should not track that much. It's ridiculous. So War God Kick, Reina's best move. That shit needs to go. Next up is some shit they added for Reina in Season 2 that I think is absurd. So she's going to heat engage. And then this shit here, down 2, 1+2 in heat on block, is +7 into Unsako or +5 in the neutral. So if you eat the heat engager, typically the counterplay is you backdash and you block. Okay? So backdash. But because I'm Kazuya, I don't have the ability to backdash that. My movement is trash. Kazuya is garbage in this game. So I don't get that type of counterplay with him. You might with your character. That's something you'll have to test for yourselves. But that is something that should exist for everybody. Backdash should be allowed after you eat the heat engage, so that we're not just looking at Reina do down 2, 1+2 all the fucking time. Because that's all Reina players are doing right now after they land a heat engage. Down 2, 1+2. And why not? If I played Reina, that's exactly what I would do too, because there's almost no counterplay to that. So it's heavily fucking plus on block. I think I saw plus fucking 10 there for a second, didn't I? Plus fucking 10. And then into plus 7 with Unsuko. No, dude. No, dude. What the shit is this? So, tone the plus frames down to like plus 2, maybe, so that she can jab check you, but that's it. She doesn't need to be plus fucking 5 with an easy mode bullshit string that takes not nearly enough heat considering what it does. Even wall splats for a full combo. Like, if you're gonna make it do that much fucking damage and have that many properties and be unsteppable and unbackdashable after your heat engage is landed, you're making the sequences extremely boring, because that's all Reina players are gonna do. Because even if you just block this shit, it's her turn and she gets chip damage. Heavy chip damage after she lands the heat engage. Like, that's way more chip damage than it has any right to have, and you're plus 7. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous move. What the fuck are they thinking with that shit? So plus 2, maybe, and we should all characters should be able to backdash that after a heat engager. And that way, Reina will be forced to do something else, like maybe Reina players will start doing hell sweeps after fucking heat engagers. I can't remember the last time a Reina player hell swept me after a heat engager. I can't remember. So, get rid of that trash. Reina's down 2, 1+2, way 2+, and should be backdashable after a heat engager. For everyone, not just specific characters. That's all really I need to talk about with Reina, because she really isn't that big of a problem. She's a really fucking strong character. She's a lot stronger than like Kazuya and Devil Jin as far as the Mishimas go. But she's also very well balanced, and I've got really no issues with her besides those 3 things. So, discussing Shaheen now. Shaheen is a pretty boring character, but a lot of people will say he's honest. I disagree. I don't think Shaheen is some people will even say he's the most honest character in the game. Fuck that. Kazuya is the most honest character in the game, because I can't delete Grey Health, and I don't have a guard break. So first of all, the guard break. Why the fuck does this still exist? Stop with the fucking guard breaks. I'm so sick of these goddamn guard breaks. Get rid of guard breaks universally, but including Shaheen's. This can be plus on block, but having it be a fucking guard break is beyond ridiculous. And then on top of that, he can then delete your Grey Health after the guard break. So get rid of that shit. The other thing that he needs to get rid of is back 2 with Shaheen is his best move. This is insane. Insane. Back 2 is a 14 frame, -9 on block mid that doesn't really have much in the way of tracking. But it doesn't matter, because you're never gonna block this. This is a -14 punish. This is 14 frame punish. And what does it do? It deletes Grey Health. He can do this anytime he wants. Just throw this shit out anytime he fucking wants and delete one of your most valuable resources in this fucking game, which is your recoverable health. So Shaheen just gets to say no to a resource that you don't get to say no to because you don't have a Grey Health deleting mechanic. And if you do, odds are it's not this good. This is like, we talked about Nina's back 1+2 deleting Grey Health. That's a problem. This is even better than that. It's 14 frames and safe on block. So he's going to be punishing shit. Like, if I do this, and he blocks it, or if I do this shit for some stupid reason, or this shit, I will never do this shit against Shaheen. I'm always going to try to charge this all the way up. But sometimes you want to play with your opponent's head a little bit, against the wall especially, right? Like, this is a very important thing for Kazuya to have against the wall. But against the wall, if I do this and he blocks it, I lose all my Grey Health. Because I'm -14 in his face and he's going to back to my ass. Horse shit. This is insane, dude. What the fuck are they thinking with these Grey Health deleting mechanics? And one that's a 14 frame punish. Fuck off, man. Ridiculous design. And the final thing that I think is genuinely fucked up. This is the most fucked up part about Shaheen. This is the thing that makes him, back two is bad enough. Fucking guard breaks are bad enough. But the following sequence is the most broken shit I've seen in a character in a while. And if this guy's supposed to be honest, get the fuck out of here. So if I block his jab, I can no longer sidestep his down forward one. It does not. I can't step this. All he did is get 1 frame of advantage, +1. And I can't step this. What a fucking joke, man. But if I try to, I can step it in the neutral, but because he's 1 frame of advantage, I can no longer step it. I can't step it to the right, but I can always step it left. But you can't step this left if you block a jab. He gets 1 frame of advantage, and that's enough to make this an unbeatable sequence. He can do jab into jab, beat out your interrupt. He can do jab and a down forward one, beat out your movement. The fuck are you supposed to do? So, that's not honest. I'm sorry, people who think this guy's honest. He's also got a safe down forward 2 launcher, by the way, which in my opinion is it's just dishonest 101. So you're gonna say a character that's got a safe down forward 2 15 frame launcher is honest? Fuck off, dude. It's not. But I'm not gonna talk about safe down forward 2s because, people seem to love those. So, whatever. Have your fucking safe down forward 2s. But I should be allowed to step your down forward 1 to the left, especially when it's a -1 13 frame down forward 1. It's one of the best down forward ones in the fucking game, and I'm not even allowed to beat it out with movement after all I did was block a jab? Get fucked, Shaheen. What a piece of shit. So that should be steppable to the left. That is not honest, and I reject anybody who thinks that is. Fuck that garbage. So, that's all for Shaheen, though. He is a fairly balanced character. Besides that, I just really hate that jab sequence. That pisses me the fuck off. Because I don't like moves that shut down movement for no reason. I hate it when people just advocate for this shit that's just shutting down fucking movement. This game is called Track and 8. Yeah, it's because of stuff like this. It's because of shit like that. Track and 8 makes sense. So right off the bat, Steve is an awesome character, one of my favorite characters in this game, but they gave him this trash in Season 2, in Tekken 8, and I hate it so much. And everybody hates it. Even Steve players hate this shit. Why is he able to Kenpo out of the way of my long-range punish on round 1 start, and then kill me? This is ridiculous. The Kenpo shit needs to just fucking go. I think manual transition into Lionheart maybe even shouldn't exist. Maybe? That might be a good idea. Transitioning him from moves should be optional. We should never be forced into stance. It should be an option that the player wants to do, or and should receive a detriment for not doing. If you go into stance, maybe you get a few extra plus frames. If you're not going into stance, then you should be in minus frames. But at that point, the player of the character should fucking be able to dictate what they want to do and not be forced by the fucking game. That's ridiculous. So the Lionheart stuff needs to go in general. But the other thing I think is a big deal is, again, this fucking ridiculous nonsense of the guard breaks. What could happen here, we just discussed it with chat, what happens, instead of making this a fucking stupid-ass guard break, you could do a number of different things. You could give him a low in that stance, and maybe it would be maybe a bit of a slower low, but some kind of a reason to duck the stance. That would be fine. Or you could make that move, Lionheart 1+2, like +6 on block, giving the opponent another reason to duck the stance. It would be nice if the up back 2 wasn't +5 on block anymore, and instead went to this type of shit. So if we do this, Steve is now +3. Making it +3 means that a jab check will beat out every single option Steve does unless he just holds it in heat. Then he can auto-parry your shit. But only in heat, which I think is fair. So you can try to go for a throw in that case, right? Or a low or some shit. But the thing about that stance is, when he's not in heat, he doesn't get the jab parry, and you get to jab option select his entire fucking stance. So, and if he presses a button in heat, then you beat him out with a counter hit jab. So that would be fair. So up back 2 going to like +3 instead of +5, where we have no option. We just have to guess. Is he going to do Lionheart 1? Is he going to sway cancel? Is he going to go for the guard break? I don't know, but pressing buttons right now might not be the best idea. Because if he does Lionheart 1 and I'm against the wall, I get wall splat, it's a homing mid, and then you get a fuck ton of damage. So that's a big fucking deal. Making that +3 would make it so that Steve would have to then implement the sways, you know? So instead of doing that shit, he could do like up back 2, and if he thinks you're gonna go for a jab check to try to beat out his options, he can either hold it if he's in heat and just do the parry automatically, or he can do some sway cancels into a punish. You know, if you really are ballsy, you can do something like you know, back sway or back weave 2, which is a counter hit launch if they're really, really close up in your face. So make the Steve have to think. Let's put some Tekken back into Tekken. Like that. What it's doing right now is this up back 2 shit is just covering too many bases for Steve. And it's similar for characters across the board. You're just deleting weaknesses now. You don't get an option select here anymore. There's no reason for the Steve to think. Just mash your fucking Lionheart 1 and you win 99% of the time. So, horseshit. Alice is asking, yeah, wasn't it +3 at launch and had an issue where Rage Art kills all of his options? Well, yeah, that's why I don't think it's a smart idea to have the move force Steve into Lionheart. You know, let him decide what he wants to fucking do. If he does that shit, and then it's your opponent's turn and they mash Rage Art because they think you're going to go into Lionheart, well, guess what? Now you can block because you didn't go into Lionheart, and now your opponent's dead. Again, we're thinking. We're bringing some Tekken back into Tekken. What a fucking concept. So, and Steve would be awesome again. We used to be able to do duck forward 2, duck forward 2, duck forward 2, right? In quick sequence. Now we have to, like... Now it's so fucking slow. It's just... the Steve players... Steve is meant to be played the way that he's always been played in past Tekkens. He used to be so fucking cool. And now he's forced into stupid shit like Lionheart after you do ducking forward 2 on block. Like, fuck this shit. Stop forcing stances. So get rid of that trash. I don't even... That wouldn't even be a buff or a nerf. It would be like just an adjustment that I think needs to happen. So that's really... that's honestly all I've got to say about Steve. I think that he's a great character otherwise, and if we get rid of some of those tools, then he'll be an amazing character again. With Victor now... extremely easy character to play, extremely consistent, but also quite fucking balanced. You guys haven't labbed this dude and think he's annoying, you'd be very surprised if he actually took some time and learned this dude. He's got a lot of reasonable counterplay. There's nothing super crazy about Victor. So, 2 things that I want to address. This heat smash he's got is really good for beating out jab checks. Once he's really low into the stance, he can beat out your jab checks. Doesn't necessarily beat out other highs. Like, it's pretty good for beating out jabs, though. So, what I think that should happen is, no heat smash should really beat out jabs, especially if it's a low-hitting heat smash. So, at the end of when he's at the very lowest point in the heat smash, right before it connects, that's when the jab will get beaten out. Just make it so that doesn't beat out jabs anymore. That's pretty reasonable. It's still -14 on block, so that's fair, too. The heat smash being a low is already super good due to the fact that you're never really looking to duck the guy. He doesn't have a lot of scary lows. Running 1+2 is kind of tricky to deal with. Down back 4 gets him killed if you block it, so his lows are not that crazy. He's still got some cheesy shit with the heat smash that can beat up jabs. So maybe tone that down. Make it so it doesn't beat jabs anymore. And the other thing I think is a super important thing to note is this type of pressure at the wall is fucking stupid. So maybe we can nerf the chip damage a little bit. What is this chip damage? And then we're just back in the blender. We're fucking... He's +8 there. The wall pressure is too much. So tone down the chip damage and tone down the plus frames. Yeah. Down 2's +4 without heat. But he's going to be in heat against the wall and then he gets +8. That's not necessary. +5 maybe. Give it a little extra something when he's in heat. But it doesn't need to be +8. That's in absurd territory. We're approaching nonsense there. So Really all I got for Victor, though. He's not that bad of a character. He's pretty fucking balanced. So, moving on. Xiaoyu is one of the weakest characters in the game right now. No question about it. If you think this character's a problem, again, hit the fucking lab and figure out how to deal with her shit, because she's really, really weak right now. There's nothing super egregious about this bitch. But this stuff is kind of dumb. This is pretty dumb. That's not dumb, but this is dumb. Why are we still forced to fucking take another mix? We're minus 20. We just ate 51 fucking damage, and now she gets to dictate what happens next. On top of that, I fucking pardon fucking you? No, it's not happening. So that's ridiculous. If this hits you, you should be sent flying into Timbuk fucking 2. Okay? Just let this be a knockdown on hit. That's all it needs to fucking be. Just a knockdown with a little bit of pushback. Maybe it flips you over or something. That would be great. That would be so great. That's all we need, besides this one other change. So again, this Heat Smash then dictates what's happening next, and this fucking low kick is, if she does 2 steps in Hypnotist, it becomes a launcher. But even if she only does the 1, it still guarantees a follow-up on normal hit. So why isn't this at least minus 14, minus 15? Something like that would be nice. Or, let us maybe react to it. 20 frames to impact, nobody's reacting to that. So, 23 frames might be cool. But I don't want to destroy Xiaoyu. I want to give her some type of utility. So, honestly, what I'm going to suggest for the nerf of that move specifically, keep the frame data as is, keep the timing as is, keep all the shit. No more launching. It should not launch ever. Period. I think that's more than fair. More than fair. Everything else about the character, though, is fine. She's really weak right now. There's not a lot going for her. Not because she sucks, but because everyone else is so stupidly strong. So, tone everyone else down. I think Xiaoyu will go up in the tier list naturally. But the Rain Dance shit with the Heat Smash and then the Heat Smash follow-up is easily the most busted shit she's got. And that stuff needs to be toned down. Yoshimitsu. He's the anti-character. One of the strongest characters in the game, but not because he is top tier, but because he shuts down everything that other characters want to do, including the top tiers. So he's fantastic for choosing if you want to counterpick somebody super hard. But he's also got some stupid nonsense too. The guard break that he has still ensures a 12-frame follow-up, like 2-2. So he can guard break you. I don't know the guard break animation. I don't know exactly what it is, but he gets this for free after the guard break lands. Okay, and then he goes in a North Sword stance, and that's a scary spot for him to be. So guard breaks, like I said, should go universally. Heat smashes, that wall splat, should go universally. Okay, that's just a fucking no-brainer. He's got a wall splatting heat smash. It needs to go. But the shit that's Yoshi specific that I think needs to go is one thing right off the bat. The most important thing is forward 1+2 hitting grounded. Look at that fucking Oki. Look at that damage, and look at the position I get reset in. I'm fucking face down, feet away. That's the worst spot you want to be in. That's the worst spot you could possibly be in. Face down, feet away is awful, and he puts you in that spot. So fuck this shit hitting grounded. Horrible. And I don't think it should launch in heat either. It just does too much for the character. He's not an Okizemi-centric character. He shouldn't have god-tier Oki. So, stupid nonsense. Forward 1+2 is probably his best move, even over Flash, and his guard break, and his unblockable low, and his fucking heat smash, the wall splats. I would still say this is a better move than all that shit, because it's a launcher, a mid, it's safe with no sword stance, it fucking hits grounded. It's like the ultimate move. It's the perfect move, and it tracks quite a bit to the fucking side you want to step him on. So you have to step to the wrong side, which then it can still clip you. So it's got way too many properties. Fucking safe on block and heat. Come on, get the fuck out of here. So, no. This should be minus 10 or more, minus 11, minus 12 on block at all times. Should not hit grounded anymore, should no longer launch in heat either. One of those things has to happen, okay? At least one, if not two of those three things I just listed. The other thing that Yoshi objectively needs is this should no longer launch in heat either. Back 2-2 becomes a 14-frame launcher in heat. Let's say you flash, then you eat that for free, and now flash becomes a 6-frame launcher. 6-frame fucking launcher. So, no, that's unacceptable. That should not launch in heat. Guaranteed follow-up is fine, but honestly, Heat dash moves should not launch, period, at all. With Zafina, she's one of the trickier characters in the game to play, but she's also one of the trickier characters in the game to fight. So it's a trade-off in the weirdest way. But she's got some bullshit, and a lot of it has to do with the install, but then a lot of it has to do with this trash too. This is +6 on block, and the counterplay that we're allowed to do after this, once she's in Tarantula, is pretty much just hold your block. That's all we get to do. It would be nice to move after this. So what I think they could do to make this a fair and balanced attack is A, for Zafina's sake, they can speed it up a little bit. Make the wall running 2 connect instead of being, currently it's 20 frames. Make it like 18 frames to impact. That would be cool. But remove the homing property. That'd be awesome for both of us. Or make it +4 on block instead of +6, because at least at +4 we can move and do things. At +6 we're forced to just stand there and block. So +6 is a bit too much. +4 would be really nice. The other thing I think she needs that's ridiculous is this should have 0 tracking at all, but it actually has quite a bit tracking to sidestep left at specific ranges. And she throws this out at tip range a lot of the time. Sidestep right, it typically tracks quite a bit. So, I think if you're gonna put in a move that's like, it's not pseudo homing, it's not homing anymore like it used to be, but it's still a really good move that tracks more than it should. It should have 0 tracking. If you're gonna give that move +2 properties on block with the install or heat, then it shouldn't track at all. Because I'm sick and tired of movement being shut down into a scenario where all I fucking did was block, and now I tried to move, I tried to block. And now I'm stuck to guess what's happening next because you get to dictate the next interaction because you decided to use your bullshit move, plus on block, basically homing move. No, it's not a basically homing move, don't get me wrong, but it still tracks more than it should considering what it can do. It can wall splat for huge damage, it's +2 on block with heat and install. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of damage. I think it's just, it has too many properties and the range is insane. It's just a move that, again, goes against the character's identity, right? Zafina is a get in your face and mind game mix you up with your fucking windy, weavy fucking spiderweb techniques. That's a Zafina game plan. That's what she's designed around. Giving her a fucking just do it button in the neutral at range 3 is fucking stupid and goes against the design of the character. So cut that shit out. Make it so that move is less usable in the neutral, so that less Zafina players want to just spam that fucking trash all day. It makes it really fucking boring, and it's not fun for the defender. Or for the Zafina, to be honest. So, yeah, get rid of that shit. We're going over Eddy at this point, and the first thing I think that needs to go with his fucking ass is, this being +9 on hit is a bit much, because he goes into handstand. And then the only real counterplay that we have to any of his shit after this is sidestep right block. And even then, he's got a little bit too much advantage. So we can even go over some things here, for example, as to why that move is a bit too good. The reason that this move is a bit ridiculous is because 1 extra frame of advantage over, say, a while running 3 on block. If Eddy does while running 3 on block, he is then +8 in your face into handstand, much like what you see him do here. But you see that he's +9 there, right? He's +9. That 1 extra frame, that's all he's got of advantage compared to a while running 3 on block versus a full crouch down forward 4 on block. Makes it so multiple more moves in handstand connect, despite doing the appropriate counterplay. So if you're at if you block a while running 3 with Eddy, a lot of people might not know this, but sidestep right block, as we explained in my How to Kill Eddy video, is a really solid counterplay to Eddy for that type of interaction. But when he does a full crouch down forward 4 and it connects, well, now you're kind of fucked because you don't get to work with as many frames. So you get fucked up by more moves. Moves that normally would not clip you if I do like a sidestep right duck. I don't get to duck in time for that now because I've got that 1 frame of advantage. He's got that 1 extra frame of advantage. Now I can duck maybe the throw if I'm really fucking tight with a micro step or something. but I'm very, it's extremely tight timing. And now I can block his install shit, but I only get really a micro step out of it. And the one move that he will always connect with is this shit now. This move now connects on a sidestep right block, even though he's only got one more frame of advantage. Let's show you what I mean by, so if he does the exact same interaction with while running 3 versus full crouch down forward 4, I can sidestep right block and beat that option. And then I get my punish. One frame of advantage only. Now, let's put him back to the full crouch down forward 4. I cannot step that anymore, and that connects now, right? Because he's just got that one extra frame of advantage. So, in my opinion, just tone that down to +8, and then we can still have the same counterplay available to us, all right? The same exact concept applies to this move. This is 3+4 in heat. Again, +9 on block now. So the exact same interaction. Full crouch down forward 4. This is +9 in heat, and it's the exact same thing as full crouch down forward 4. +9, +9. One's +9 on hit, one's +9 on block. Regardless, they're both the same fucking thing. They both have the exact same frame data. They both put them into handstand at the exact same frames. It's just the same fucking interaction. My opinion is make it so that's +8 as well. Because +8, we can still do things. We can sidestep right into block and beat a lot of options. We can sidestep right into duck and beat a lot of his handstand options. But if we just get to, including his install, by the way, his install attacks, sidestep right duck beats everything for his install. Even at +8 for the Eddy. But once he's +9, he can force you to, well, you don't get to do anything, really. You can sidestep right block, you can sidestep right duck, you can try at least, anyways. It won't work a lot of the time. So, all I'm asking for is a little bit more counterplay from these types of sequences. It's just too much advantage, and it takes away a fuck ton of counterplay from the opponent. So, we don't need, like, you're already kind of at the Eddy's mercy when you're +8 in his fucking face and he's at handstand, right? He's got a lot of options that can kill you if you just block or if you try to interrupt or whatever the hell, right? So, why don't we just leave it at +8? +9, that one extra frame goes a long way, and it makes it so that the sequence goes from bearable and counterplayable to unbearable and kind of fucking cheap and bullshit. So a lot of it has to do with just that one extra fucking frame. So if we take those +9 and put it down to +8, this would be a really healthy and balanced character, even more than he already is, which I think Eddy is pretty fucking balanced. The other thing that he needs a clear fucking nerf on is this goddamn heat smash. So look how far away he sends himself. He's got a lot of tracking to both sides. You can't step this left at all. And I'm not really too worried about that. I'm worried about the fact that look how far away he fucking goes. On a heat smash that's got a lot of tracking. So it could be potentially safe on whiff, right? I'm tired of these safe on whiff fucking heat smashes. They need to go. Make it so that the heat smash whiffs after one hit, like we've already talked about, and make those other moves we've discussed with Eddy +8 on hit or block instead of +9, because that one frame does too much. It becomes unfair for the defender at that point. There really is no true counterplay to that sequence. That's all I got for Eddy, though. I don't think he's that busted. I think he's very, very strong. He's a great tournament character, but I don't think that he's really a big, huge problem right now. Especially when it comes to the DLC characters. The DLC is mostly pay to win right now, but Eddy I don't think is one of those pay to win characters. Now we're going to talk about a character that is kind of pay to win. So Lidia is one of the most hated characters in the game right now. I don't think anybody besides Lidia mains have any nice things to say about this chick. I like Lidia. I think she's way the fuck overtuned right now. There's definitely problems with her. But a lot of it stems from her heat. There are some things that are issues in without heat, but the heat and the triple install are ridiculous. So we can go over things that I think would make this character still very viable even in tournament, but also nowhere near as egregious to fight and actually give us some fucking counterplay. So right off the bat, the semi-charged version of 1+2 in heat gives +10. The fully charged one gives +15, and the no charge gives +1. With +1, we got tons of counterplay. +1, we block this, you can sidestep right duck, immediately, and you will beat every single option that she can do in Heaven and Earth stance. Sidestep right duck beats the shit out of the Heaven and Earth stance. If you just sidestep right, you will still get killed by the unblockable. So that's why sidestep right duck will beat out every option, because you dodge the 2 mids with the sidestep, and then you duck the high to account for all 3 moves. And that's if she's +1 up to +5. Once she reaches +6 or more, then sidestep right duck no longer applies. So as sure as fuck doesn't apply when she's plus goddamn 10 in your face. And the exact same frame scenario is when she lands the Heat Smash. That's also +10 into Heaven and Earth, into guess for fucking game, pretty much. So, multiple scenarios she can put you in where there is literally no option but to guess. You either guess mid and you block, or you often get, it's often Lydia's turn again, or you block and then you eat the unblockable. The unblockable is almost free. You're never going to duck because you're worried about getting launched by 1 or getting hella wall splattered from a million miles away by the 2, which we got to talk about the 2 in a minute. Heaven and Earth 2 is crazy, Heaven and Earth 1 is crazy. So if you're just standing there blocking because you're afraid of those moves, then the unblockable is going to fuck you up for free. And it's a lot of damage, and the Oki scenario is ridiculous. So, stupid move. Why the fuck is that +10? That could be +4 or +5 and it would be fine, but +10 is way the fuck too much, even if it is sidesteppable. You have to time the sidestep with when she goes for the move, or you can interrupt her. If you try to leisurely sidewalk her, then she's gonna kill you. So my best option here would be, if you think she's gonna half charge it, then just go for an interrupt. Only problem with that is if she doesn't go for the half charge and she just lets it rip, she will often interrupt your interrupt and kill you anyways. So, it's tricky as fuck to deal with this sequence. 1+2 is very, very strong in heat, and a lot of Lidia players spam this shit. And the medium charged one is the biggest problem, because the fully charged one is super linear. Medium charged one realigns quite well, and it's +10 on block. So, tune the fuck down on that one. That's like, simmer down, dude. You've had way the fuck too much to drink tonight. You need to go home. Like, that's that level of fucking horseshit that move is. So, tune the plus frames down quite a bit on that move to +4, +5. Even +4 would be fine, I think. +5 is still good for the Lidia and good for the defender. Again, +6, and we are in territory where we can no longer counterplay. So +5 is where it should be capped. This is also a really fucking annoying move, because if you do a counter hit here, then she gets to delete your gray health. Again, I don't think gray health deleting mechanics should be in the game. She can also delete your gray health in a combo by finishing the combo with the throw string that she does. Forward, 4, I think. When she ends the combo with that, then she gets to delete your gray health there as well. This shit just shouldn't be in the fucking game. I don't think gray health deleting should be in the game at all, period. Period. So, and she does only get that with 3 installs. But, still, get that shit out of the fucking game. No character should be able to shut down a resource of somebody else. Unless we're all allowed to do that, then that's fine. But we're not all allowed to do that. Gray health deleting mechanics are reserved for like 4 or 5 characters in the game right now. Maybe 6 characters in the game right now. The Bears, Nina, Lidia, Dragunov, Heihachi, Shaheen, probably one of the most ridiculous ones. So that's already 7. I think there might be more, but I think that's all for now. So anyway, 7 characters out of a 40 character roster. So those 7 characters just have an inherent advantage over everybody else, just naturally, just by existing. Fuck that shit. I don't think that should be in the game. Give characters unique properties to them, but a mechanic that's that strong, that shuts down a resource that's so limited to the cast is not fair. Currently, how she earns the install. See what I'm doing here? I'm manually transitioning into Heaven and Earth, or I can do it from an automatic transition as well. So if we do something like this, it's an automatic transition. If she just does 1+2, she immediately gets Heaven and Earth. It just forces her into that stance. And that's how she builds the install currently. Okay, and it's a super strong install. As soon as she gets 3, she's fucking just god tier level busted at that point. With the 3 installs, it's too much. And all she has to do is enter the stats. So, in order to make it a little more reasonable for the defender, what she should require to get an install stack is connecting with one of the Heaven and Earth attacks. Instead of just going into stance and getting a stack, she should have to connect with like a Heaven and Earth 2 or Heaven and Earth 1+2 unblockable or Heaven and Earth 1. As soon as one of those 3 attacks connects, then she should get a stack. Otherwise, you're just giving shit away for free for no fucking reason. And it's broken shit, too. Like, it's way too strong to just be given to Lidia for free by just entering stance. I'm sorry, but that's not cool. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. So I think that's a great way to nerf the install for Lidia, because she can still get a stack or 2 per round, but she has to connect with those moves. It actually takes 2 rounds to get her install, not 1. But either way, she just needs to enter heat and immediately go into Heaven and Earth, and now she's got 3 stacks. So you could do round 2 start, immediately pop heat, go straight into the Heaven and Earth stance, and you've got your 3 installs for the rest of the match. They don't go away. So again, the way I would nerf that is by forcing her to connect with one of the Heaven and Earth attacks. And that's a way better idea. It would incentivize the Lidia to still be aggressive, but it would also give the opponent some fucking reasonable leeway in the match. Because once she does have those 3 stacks, she's fucking crazy strong. So, with or without heat, it's a bit much. The other thing that I think needs nerfing is that shit right there. So, with 3 stacks, she can then do Heaven and Earth 2 and wall splat you from that far away. If she's a little bit closer to the wall, she gets a full-on wall splat and a full combo after that. So, from that distance on a +6 on block mid, it's crazy. There's no reason for that move to wall splat from that far away. We can give it a different property with the 3 stacks to make it to have some utility. I don't know. Instead of making it wall splat from that fucking far away, maybe it's +7 on block instead of +6 or something. You know, either way, you can still sidestep right duck and beat out that move from a lot of exchanges with her going into Heaven and Earth. So it wouldn't matter too much for the defender in that sense. But if Lidia does connect with it on block, she gets a little extra frames to play with. Something like that might be a good change. Wall splatting it from that far away is too much. That's like Jin heat smash level bullshit, and she's plus on block, so it's a win button. Whether you connect with it or get it blocked, it's still a fantastic move for the Lidia pair to just throw out at any time. So would tone the shit out of that down big time. And the other thing I want to talk about is the ridiculous nonsense that's QCF4. That's the new homing move she's got. This is insanely good. This move is fucking so stupid. First of all, it's a +5 on block homing move. Can we please, for the love of fuck, get rid of these goddamn plus on block homing moves, dude? I don't care if it's a high. I don't care if the range is shitty. I don't care if the fucking move requires some execution. Doesn't matter. A plus on block fucking homing move shouldn't exist in Tekken. You're shutting down resources. It's a 3D game. Homing moves should require some risk. There's no risk to that. Yeah, it's a high, but you have to call it out and duck it for it to be, for you to get any reward. She doesn't lose her turn after you block it. She's not -5, she's +5. That's fucking stupid. It's still her turn after she does a homing move. And I don't know if you guys saw the recent tournament with Farzin when he won the whole thing with Lidia recently, just now. He beat, well, I don't know if he beat Atif, but Atif was in that tournament. He got eliminated. Farzin took the whole thing, and he was bullying the fucking winners final and grand finals with Lidia. He won like 12 rounds in a row, and this fucking homing move had a lot to do with it. This shit put in so much work. There's no excuse for this shit. The reason it's so good is because of the reward on hit, mostly on hit, but she can transition herself manually into Heaven and Earth, and if she does this, there is counterplay, okay? If she transitions manually into Heaven and Earth, and you block this homing move, sidestep right duck, right? Funny enough, the counterplay to this exchange is easier on hit than it is on block if the Lidia decides to manually transition into Heaven and Earth, for example, like this. So if she's +17 in your face, you can sidestep right duck. It's +17. It takes so much time for the stance to activate that sidestep right duck will still beat out everything that she tries to do from the stance if she manually transitions into it by holding up. There you go. Beat out all 3 options, no problem. After getting hit by the fucking move, right? So it seems fair and reasonable, and then you go into more detail and you figure out, oh shit, this isn't fair and reasonable at all. Because if she connects with this, she can then do Horse Stance 2, guaranteed into Heaven and Earth into whatever the fuck she wants, because she's hella fucking plus in your face. Plus 8. We already talked about if she's plus 6 and going into Heaven and Earth, there's nothing you can do there. If it's an automatic transition, not a manual transition. That's an automatic transition at plus 8. There's nothing you can do but guess. You have to just hold that and guess. There's so much reward with this fucking homing move. It's plus on block, guarantees a follow-up on hit. None of that shit should be. It shouldn't guarantee the follow-up on hit if you're going to make it a homing move that's plus on block. That's bullshit. Otherwise, remove the homing property. Otherwise, don't make it plus 5 on block. Something's got to give. A homing move shouldn't have plus frames, guarantee a follow-up on normal hit, and be a fucking homing move. You're shutting down movement, you're shutting down counterplay, you're shutting down any type of reasonable, conceivable anything to do with the defense in this scenario. There's no defense to this. You have to hard call it out, duck it on reaction, and kill her for doing the homing move initially. I don't know what she's going to do here. I don't know if she's going to do a homing move. I just guessed, right? Now I get hit by this, and now I'm pretty much fucking dead. I'm going to block, but okay, I can block her Heaven and Earth 1. Cool. If I blocked her Heaven and Earth 2, I'm at minus now, and she's still got install and heat. And if I block her unblockable, guess what? I'm dead. So, ridiculous sequence. Very, very absurd horseshit. I don't know why QCF4 is a homing move if it's going to be plus. I don't know why it's plus if it's going to be a home move. And if both of those properties are going to stay, which they should not fucking stay. No fucking homing move should be plus on block. I don't care what it is. If both those things do fucking stay for some dumbass reason, because the devs don't understand how counterplay works in this game and how balance should be implemented properly, then they should delete the follow-up on normal hit. It should be like a counter hit guaranteed follow-up. Then I could see it being reasonable. But on a normal hit, this is too fucking good. All I'm doing is just walking forward. I get hit by this. I eat 46 damage, and then I potentially eat more damage from the unblockable, or if I eat the fucking launcher, or if I get wall splat by the other mid that's plus on block. Like, it's just too much to think about. There's no defense there. Nothing. All that from a plus on block homing move. So delete at least one of the properties. I don't think it should be plus on block. And then I don't think the follow-up should be on normal hit. It should be on counter hit. Then it's a great move. You know, it's a homing move, so it catches your stepping. On normal hit, maybe it does a wall splat or something. But on counter hit, it gives a guaranteed follow-up. Great. It has properties out the ass. But it's not. It's far less egregious at that point. It's still worth throwing out. The Lidia player is still going to love to use that move. But it won't be a beat-all, catch-all, like, win button like it is right now. It's too fucking good. Farzeen was bullying some of the best Tekken players in Pakistan, or where that tournament was. Was it Saudi Arabia or Pakistan? I can't remember. With that fucking homing move. So if at the highest level of play, that move is so effective, then there's no real defending this shit. That's the highest level of play in the world right now, and she was just bullying people with that fucking move. So clearly it's too good and needs to be toned down. And then when you look into it, it really is too fucking stupid. So that's a huge problem with the character. And then addressing the other shit we already talked about with the install stacks and making 1+2 not +10 on block for the medium charge. Maybe making that like +5. But +5, we still can deal with the stats. She is then forced to mix up her timing in Heaven and Earth. Because if she delays the timing and doesn't immediately go for the follow-up after running one connects on block, and we go for sidestep right duck, if she delays it, we get killed. So make it so that we have to she has to think a bit more. So a medium charge 1+2 going to a +5 would be the same scenario as if we blocked running one, and then we have the same counterplay available to us, but then the Lidia has to think a little bit more, and she can beat out our counterplay by delaying her timing a little bit, instead of just not even having to think right now. You don't have to think with Lidia at all with this shit, because at +10, just do a button, and it will probably work. They can't move. I've locked them down for movement because they're at fucking -10 in my face with either blocked heat smash or medium charge 1+2. They can't do shit as the defender. You can't do anything. So you have to block and hope she doesn't go for the unblockable. And if she does, then you just kind of have to eat that 40-something damage, whatever the fucking damage is. I don't even know. 41 damage. 41 damage. So that's more than a big throw. Like, that's fucked up, man. For an unblockable high. So, clearly, they don't understand how counterplay is supposed to work with this character. There's a lot of nuances with Lidia. She's a complex fucking character. Both in how to play and in how to defend. Especially in how to defend. This character is so hard to defend against. But a lot of it has to do with just the egregious nonsense. The plus frames are way the fuck too much. So, give us some fucking counterplay to these sequences. The homing move that's plus on block needs to be toned the fuck down like I asked. 1+2 charge needs to be toned down. Installs need to be earned via connecting with the attacks from heaven and earth, not just going into the stance. Make it so the Lidia has to work a little bit instead of just doing a thing, pressing a button, and get rid of the gray health deleting mechanic in general. That shit is nonsense. So, from the entire cast, not just Lidia. So, and then, this character will be a lot cooler, and I might even want to pick her up, because next to Reina and Zafina, Lidia's right under them is like my most interested in female character. I like Lidia as a character. I love her design. I've got a black belt in karate myself, so I just kind of gravitate to a character like that who also specializes in karate. So, she's a cool fucking character, but she's such a bullshit bitch character right now that I have no interest in playing her until they nerf the fuck out of her. So, just get rid of this stuff, and I think she'd be in a way better spot. I've been playing Heihachi for about 30 years-ish, maybe a little over 30 years, 31 years. And he's next to Kazuya, he is the nearest and dearest character to my heart. I fucking love Heihachi almost as much as I love Kazuya. They are my two guys. They're my two mains. I love Armor King and I love Devil Jin on top of that, yes. But compared to them, these guys are like way, way fucking higher on the list for me. I love Kazuya and Heihachi. But right now I can't justifiably say that that Heihachi's in a reasonable spot right now. He is objectively pretty fucking broken. And a lot of it has to do with heat and his warrior instinct, okay? So, right off the bat, for warrior instinct specifically, I'm going to quote the main man here. Main man has a really good suggestion for warrior instinct. I'm going to reiterate what he says, because how you nerf the warrior instinct in an effective way that still allows us to retain the usefulness of warrior instinct without completely breaking the character as well on top of that, is how you, after you get your 3 installs by popping heat 3 times in 3 different rounds leading up to that, you then have to enter heat a 4th time, and then you pop your warrior instinct, you transform, you go Super Saiyan 2, and your heat bar is gone. Okay? I think that is more than fair. Going warrior instinct should require the use of your entire heat bar. So then it requires setup. You have to basically earn it multiple different ways, and you can still get punched and or fucking launched out of the fucking transformation, right? So all those things are super important changes I think should be implemented. Mayman's got a great idea with that. So wasn't my idea. I'm not taking any credit for that. I just think it's a fantastic way to nerf the system without destroying the system outright. So that's number 1. Number 2. The guard break needs to go. This is horse shit because the guard break is a homing move. It also launches. And if Heihachi does it against the wall, he gets a 10-frame wall splat into big fucking damage. Okay? This, with Warrior Instinct and Heat, you can make that over 60 damage for just a 10-frame wall splat. Not including the damage you take for blocking the guard break. So, the guard break in general needs to go universally. But specifically with Heihachi, because it doesn't fit his identity, okay? Heihachi usually has to work to win exchanges. Heihachi is classic in the sense of him being super linear, not being able to lock your opponent down with moves that track heavily. This is a homing guard break, and then he gets a free 10-frame wall splat on top of that. So this entire exchange is essentially just given to the Heihachi with no effort whatsoever. So it completely deletes his identity. This is not something a Heihachi player is going to enjoy having as part of his character's repertoire. I don't like the guard break. Do I use it when I play Heihachi? Fuck yeah, of course, because it'd be stupid not to use all their bullshit in this bullshit game. But I don't want him to have that, and I don't want any other character to have a guard break. They should all universally go, okay? They shouldn't exist. He can also delete your gray health in this fucking Warrior Instinct shit. Then he can do a combo. I'm not doing an actual combo here. I'm just showing you that he gets to delete your gray health in Warrior Instinct. The Master just mentioned, yeah, you're right. While running 1+2, the headbutt does also delete gray health in Warrior Instinct as well. You even get a follow-up hit after that with Omen Thunder Godfist. So that all can stay, but deleting the gray health is horseshit, and that needs to go. The amount of damage it does is a fuck ton. But again, that does work with Heihachi's identity, because he is the character in the game. He should do the most damage. Him, Kazuya, Brian, Paul. Those four, that's the big four of damage output. Those guys have always had that, since Tekken goddamn 3. So, that fits their identity. Huge damage is fine. But deleting gray health, guard breaks, wall splatting fucking heat smashes, none of that shit should be in the game. It just ruins Tekken. It's not fun. Especially if you're the defender, if you're on the defender side. So, the wall splatting heat smash is absolutely absurd. The amount of damage he can do for a wall splatting heat smash is absurd, okay? He gets all this guaranteed, and this is not even max damage. 98 damage is not even fucking max damage. He can go over 100 for that. If you actually put the blue sparks in to finish that last punch there, if you do a backdash into well-timed back 1-4, and then you get another resplat with the tornado spin, and then you can do the down 4-3 1+2 Q. So you have one finisher with the just frame timing. You get like 104 damage for that. For a wall splatting heat smash, again, none of this goddamn shit needs to be in the game, and it should not exist. Period. It's all garbage. Wall splatting heat smashes need to go universally. Nobody asked for that. Least of all Mishima players. Least of all Heihachi fucking players. We don't need a goddamn wall splatting heat smash. Stop giving us free wins. Stop it. We play Mishimas because we don't want free wins. We want to work our asses off and feel really good for beating our opponent's bitch character because we used a skill-based character that is fucking awesome to land big hits with and get super crazy damage. Like, we love that stuff as Mishima players. Now we're just bitch characters in this game. Well, unless you're Kazuya. Heihachi is a bit of a bitch character right now because of this free win bullshit. Don't give him that. It's fucking stupid, man. So there's the safe on-block hell sweep in Warrior Instinct. This is absolutely safe. Also still retains a lot of tracking. Obviously, if you do a perfectly well-timed sidewalk left in his face, then you will be able to dodge the hell sweep. But if you got a little bit of distance away from the Heihachi, it will track to both sides, as it should. It's supposed to track to both sides. But making it safe in Warrior Instinct is it's the amount of how broken that is. I can't even put it into words. How fucking busted that shit is. A safe hell sweep with a shit ton of tracking that launches on counter hit. If you continue the fucking move by doing the low extension instead, and they don't block the second hit being a low, then you fucking get to launch them with a free, safe hell sweep. That's just, I'm sorry, man, that's way too fucked up. You can only low parry this. The only thing you can do to this is low parry. Just to call him out, knowing that he's gonna fucking do it, and then you low parry. Fucking stupid horse shit. I don't understand why that exists. But that's the only thing you can do is low parrying the hell sweep. You have to low parry. It's a fucking hell sweep, you have to low parry. Like, what a joke. The other thing about Warrior Instinct that I think is silly is if you do this, launch somebody, and go for big damage, you fucking don't... There is no gray health in that combo. You see that health bar? I'm not taking a single speck of gray health. All of this is guaranteed damage. So honestly, this fucking install is crazy strong. It's good it's only 1 round per match. Because if it was more than that, any more than that, even 2 rounds per match, it would be objectively the strongest install in the game. Give combos gray health. Don't allow the guard break to exist. No more wall splatting heat smashes. Don't give the gray health deleting property to anything in Warrior Instinct. All this shit going away would still make this install really fucking strong. So that needs to be looked at. The last thing I want to talk about here is what I think is the craziest part about this install, in my opinion. He gets a fucking 12 frame launcher with, and that's not even max damage. I just threw that combo out and that's the damage he gets. 12 frame launch in Warrior Instinct, because this into this is guaranteed. Forward 1+2 is just 12 frame punish. You would typically want to do like Iron Hand to enter heat after that. But with Warrior Instinct, you can do down forward 2-1, and that's a 13 frame launcher. And it's guaranteed in after you connect with forward 1+2. So 12 frame forward 1+2 into 13 frame down forward 2-1, you kill the opponent. For 12, it becomes a 12 frame launcher. Forward 1+2 is -14 on block, it's a high, and it's got no range. But none of those things matter, because what you use this for is a 12 frame punish. So anytime Kazi is -12, guess what he can do? He can fucking launch punish my down forward 2 or my power crush. He can launch both of those with a forward 1+2 in Warrior Instinct. What? Fucking what? Like, it says pardon? Like, there's no goddamn way that's fair. Okay, a 12 frame launcher is unacceptable. So maybe give down forward 2-1. Instead of having an auto tornado, just have it be like a guaranteed move that it just gives a knockdown, and maybe you can do like a forward 1+2, a forward 2 on if it hits, right? He gets a knockdown, and he gets this for free. Okay, this is a good move. It hits grounded even, so you know if he wants to throw this out, he could probably land that after a down forward 2-1, and then it would be fair. But a full fucking launch into 76 to 80 fucking damage for a 12 frame launcher, and then you still gotta compete with Ultra Instinct Heihachi after that? I'm sorry, but that's fucked up. So most of the nerfs with this character are about his Warrior Instinct. Really, he doesn't have too many problems besides that. But I will say, I will discuss one thing with Heihachi, the last thing we'll talk about, that doesn't involve Warrior Instinct, but is a cheap fucking thing in general, and it's just something he can always do in the neutral. Quick correction, I want to talk about two things real quick with Heihachi that they're both important, and they're both things that involve just him just existing in the neutral, not with Warrior Instinct, not with heat, just Heihachi's shit in the neutral that I think is a bit too much. First thing we'll go over is this fucking shit here. So the reason I got him set to have his health bar at 1, got a pixel of health left, is because I want to showcase how much this shit heals on block and on hit, okay? This heals way the fuck too much. If you look how much health he's got beforehand, he's got 1 point of health. Now he's got 14 points of health. So if you block this thing, this exchange here, and he does the gold sparks, he gets 13 points of health back. And if you block this exchange and he does the blue sparks, then he still gets 7 points of health back. Now he's got 8 points of health. So that extra little bit of health that he gets back, you'd notice that he gets a little extra health back after the block sequence is over. For some reason. That's not necessary, right? We don't need to give him that as well. That's kind of what's the point of that? When I would normally die with jab check, I do this for free, and now I can survive a jab check. For what? Because I did a 13 frame down forward 1 mid string? Either make it so that only applies on hit with the healing property, or don't have it exist at all. Just have it be, you know, I get 4 points of healing with just connecting the 2 hits, and then for some reason the string just gives me an extra 4 points of healing for free. And that's the blue spark version. If you're good at doing the gold spark just frame, it's crazy how much health you get back there. So you get an extra 9 points of health for, again, no reason. 5 extra points of health between the gold spark and the blue spark version, plus the chip damage this shit does. Like, why does it do that much chip damage to the opponent while also giving you back a bunch of fucking health? That stuff doesn't need to exist in the game. That's like some Yoshimitsu level retarded bullshit. So fuck that. I hate that garbage. Delete that. The extra health that it gives is ridiculous, and then this final exchange is the only thing I think needs genuine looking at, because the pushback on back 4 allows for an immediate parry setup. If I do this exchange at the wall, for example, Heihachi's parry is 5 frames before you get the parry. So I can do a 12 frame move at the wall, because there's no pushback at the wall, and I can interrupt his parry attempt. But if I do a 13 frame move, I now eat the parry, and I get wall splatted in a fight. Okay? 13 frames, I eat the parry. Anything slower than 13 frames, you eat the parry. But jab check, 11 frames, 12 frames, I can beat him out because the back 4 is -8. Now if he does this in the neutral, he can set the same thing up, but I die to the fucking, to the exchanges now. So I have to do something else. I do a 14 frame mid, I'm fucked. I do my 13 frame mid, I'm fucked. Obviously that still applies without the pushback, but say I want to do my 11 frame or something. I don't get to reach. I have to do a bigger move to try to capitalize on to try to take my turn back because all he did was back 4, I took some chip damage, and now the pushback has essentially reset the neutral, so I have to then try to reapproach Heihachi, which I'm going to do because I've got the frame advantage now at -8, but because he's pushed me so far away, that parry is pretty much guaranteed no matter what I try to do at this point, unless I throw him or do a low or something, right? So after I block this, I gotta run in and try to do a jab check, but to try to take my frames back, or I try to do a 1-2 to just take my turn back at some level, and I don't get to do it because all of that because of one simple thing: the pushback. Back 4 should not have any pushback at all. It should be like at the wall. That way I can just jab check him every single time. If he wants to do the parry, you're gonna need some more frames, bro. You need to set me up at like -5. Then you can fucking parry, right? So instead of just back 4 leading into that shit, Heihachi should have to do something like this. 1-1 into parry or something. 1-1 on block into an immediate parry. Or down forward 1 into immediate parry. Because down forward 1 is -5 as well, right? So this exchange is fair. -5, he does his parry, he's good to go. That's a good setup. But if you're -8, and then you still get to set the parry up, that's fucked up. What's the point of making back 4 -8 if you're going to give it that much pushback on top of that when he has the parry to fall back on? So let's get rid of that. We need to get rid of the pushback and that health recovering nonsense with down forward 1-2. Clive is one of the most busted characters in the game. I am shocked at anybody who puts him below the bottom 10. This guy is a significant problem, and he's got a lot of shit that's so easy to figure out what he needs nerfed. It's so fucking easy. The first thing that I can think of that the chat agrees with is this garbage here. This is a Demon Breath that's not punishable on block because it's -9. It's only 13 frames, so it's a frame slower than Heihachi and Reina's. But theirs is -10, -12. Clive's is -9, and it's a heat engager, so it's automatically better than theirs. In heat, it guarantees a follow-up with his snake edge with the laser. Horseshit is the only thing I can think of for this. This should be it's just like every other fucking Demon Breath. Why isn't this just punishable on block? Let us just get a jab check. That's fair for a Demon Breath, especially one that's a heat engager. I mean, let's be real. It's too good of a move. It's just 13 frame punish on top of that, and it's a mid. Next is back 1+2. This shit is still got way too much range. Okay, I'm sorry, but this range is insane. Why the fuck is it a projectile? You're gonna make a fucking power crush a projectile? I know they improved the pushback in the last time they nerfed this move, so it doesn't. You can always punish this move at -14. But the fucking the range is the problem here. Reduce some of the range. There's no fucking reason that it should hit from this far away. Like, why? I don't get a punish for that now. Like, if it hits a tip range, I don't get a fucking punish for that. So you should always get a punish. Either reduce the range or reduce the pushback even more, so that Clive is right in your fucking face after he throws that out and you block it. Otherwise, you can just spam that shit at tip range to no risk. Because this is a long-range 13-frame punish. This has got quite a bit of range, and I cannot get that at tip range. So fuck that. Decrease the pushback, or decrease the range. Down 1+2 is stupid. It's an incredible Oki tool, and it flips over to put you in one of the worst positions you could be in. Clive has down back 4, Clive has the snake edge, Clive has down 1. You don't need to give him that move on top of that as an Oki tool. So if you're going to make that an Oki tool, we should not be flipped over in the position that we're in. This should be face up, feet towards, after you land that on as an Oki tool. Face up, feet towards, because I'm in a horrible position with face down, feet away. So if you're going to make that an Oki tool, 1, reduce the damage. 2, reduce the AoE. This move's got a stupid amount of tracking. Should be able to easily step it either direction. So the tracking is too much. It's got a pretty decent AoE hitbox. Reduce the tracking. Give us a better position on the ground. Give him a reason to do an Oki tool that's not down 1+2. Maybe down 1. Or down back 4 or something. More often as Oki tools instead of the fucking horse shit that he's got with down 1+2. Forward 1+2 is still +3 on block, and thankfully the tracking is pretty trash. But still, it's a plus on block mid that goes into 50 damage on counter hit, on normal hit. It still does 22 damage, and +9 into force crutch on the opponent, which is, you could argue, even that makes it technically +10 on hit. I don't see why a move like that has that kind of property on hit and on counter hit is also +3 on block. Can we make that minus, please? It doesn't have to be punishable on block, but can we? It doesn't need to be a pressure tool either. He's got ridiculous pressure tools as it is. You're giving him another one? We'll talk about his pressure tools in a minute. But fuck that shit, dude. The other thing I think is ridiculous is look at this fucking range on block. This is get over here, and he gets this on block. Not if you're in close range, but he's not going to do this close range. This is QCF1, okay? At specific ranges, once you're far enough away, which it looks like it starts at range 4, once you're at like range 3.5, range 4, range 4.1, 4.2, that just pulls you right back into where Clive wants you to be. So, and on top of that, Clive's plus in your face. So he brings you right over to him. He's like, fuck it, get over here, and it's his turn. And I blocked that. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. No. That should only give you the get over here property on hit. If this connects, then fine. Fine. On hit, no problem. But on fucking block, dude, get out of here. It's the same thing on block from that range as it is on hit. The only difference is the damage. How in the fuck is that a thing? We're not playing fucking Scorpion Mortal Kombat ass trash, okay? We're fucking playing Clive. Well, he's ass trash as well. But we're playing Tekken, okay? This isn't fucking Mortal Kombat. So, and even if it was, even Scorpion's spear doesn't fucking pull you over into plus frames for the Scorpion player on block. In fact, it's like launch punishable on block for Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. So you get a big ass combo for blocking get over here in Scorpion's face. You don't get shit for blocking this in Clive's face except the 12 frame punish. Which when the hell is he going to use this in your fucking face anyway? He's going to do it at this range, man. Because that's when it's bullshit. So, no. Fuck all that. It makes no sense that he has that. Then now we're going to start talking about some real nonsense. Okay? This is running 2, which is plus 14 on block, and he transitions into Phoenix Shift. This is a ridiculous fucking move, man. Running 2 is very, very linear, and it's very slow. Okay, you can sidestep it either direction with the tiniest step. And you can dodge it every time. The issue is he can mix this move with back 2, and now stepping is just, he can run up to you and back 2, and now stepping doesn't work anymore, because this is not a homing move on paper. It's not a homing move on paper, but it is a fucking homing move. I can sidewalk all day, sidestep all day. I'm not dodging this fucking move. Either direction. Doesn't fucking matter. Back 2 is his best attack. Best attack for Clive. And guess what? So if back 2 connects, then he can Phoenix Shift into Phoenix Shift 1+2, And back 2 guarantees a heat engager on normal hit. Or if I get hit by this, that's guaranteed. I take 43 damage. Now Clive's in heat, in my face. And I'm fucked. And all that from a move that's +6 on block if he goes into Phoenix Shift. +6. Essentially what this does after he goes into +6 is every single Phoenix Shift option is a guess after that. You're guessing, is he going to do a Hell Sweep? Is he going to do Phoenix Shift 4, which is the low? It's minus on hit, but it has crazy properties on counter hit, guarantees follow-ups on counter hit. He can do Phoenix Shift 1+2. He can do Phoenix Shift 1, Phoenix Shift 2, and Phoenix Shift 3+4. Half of those moves are interruptible, half of them aren't. 2 of them are lows, 4 of them are mids. You don't know what he's going to do, and he's got +6 going into your face, doing those moves. If you want to know exactly how to deal with that stance, check out the How to Kill Clive video in my playlist on YouTube. It's available for anybody to watch anytime. And there's a lot of detail about Clive in that video, and why that 50-50 mix that's forced on block as soon as Clive does back 2 and you block it, he immediately puts you in a blender. It shows you the counterplay of that shit, but there really is no counterplay. You're kind of just guessing. You have options, but at the same time you don't. So in Heat, he's bullshit. First of all, his Heat Smash is completely fucking homing. On top of that, big fucking damage on block. And it's +8 on block. If you do this against the wall, you're just fucked. And the AoE explosion he does here, it's just crazy. There is no stepping this shit at all. You'll never be able to step this. This has a complete 180-degree AoE bubble around it. It's like Jack's Gamma Howl 3+4. But it's far more egregious, far more busted than that, because no matter what, you can be behind the Clive, they can go for the Heat Smash, and you get hit by the Heat Smash from behind. It's crazy. It's got a complete AoE, and it's +8. There's no reason for this. We should be able to step it to at least one direction. I'm just tired of tracking Heat Smash. There's no risk to this shit. It's only a fucking 18 frame Heat Smash. It's not exactly the slowest thing in the world either. Like, he can just do it. He's got a lot of garbage and heat, and then he can just fucking do the Heat Smash at the end of it, and it's just another win button for him. +8 on block. He gets to do whatever he wants. I'm sorry, but after we just discussed that he can set you up for 50-50s for free, he can make you guess for free, you're gonna give him a move that's +8 on block, where he can just put you in the blender again for free by... You block his Heat Smash, he does back 2 on block, now he's forcing you to guess, like, what, 3-4 times in a row at this point. It's just... Clive is nuts. This Heat Smash is ridiculous. His guard break is a problem. Okay? From here he gets +11, and then he gets 1-2. You can follow up with 1-2. He used to get 2-1 into a wall splat. Big fuck they nerfed that. How you deal with this is you sidestep and you try to not get killed by the... It's a launcher on normal hit, by the way. You gotta sidewalk, and go for your launch punish. So you can beat that out that way. The problem is, he's got 3 other things that he can do from forward 2-2 that make it so sidestep and sidewalk doesn't matter. It doesn't apply anymore. He can do forward 2-2-1, not charge it, and he's still safe. And then he can do forward 2-2-2, which is a weapon. If he goes for the forward 2-2-1, and I think he's not going to go for the guard break, I can punch parry this. I can also power crush this, which is not counterplay. We always talk about on this channel how power crush is counterplay for nothing, because I'm still taking a bunch of damage. Look at the health exchange. I'm actually at lower health than he is right now, and I just did the power crush to get him off me. What a fucking joke. So the other thing is, we talked about the punch parry a second ago. Can't fucking parry this because it's a sword! You can't parry weapons, obviously, unless you're Clive yourself, or Jin, or Leroy. But those 3 characters are the exception. Raven can as well, but he still takes a bit of damage. No other character can parry a weapon. Every other character has to eat the weapons. And so punch parry is out of the fucking question here. So again, we can try to power crush. That's the other option here that we have available to us. And if you put in all three options now, again, power crush is not counterplay, because I'm still taking damage, and it's shit. Okay? If I have like 10 points of health, then I lose this exchange outright. So power crush is beating out all these options, and that's fantastic. Yes, it even beats out the guard break. But then you can also choose to do this. Into block. Right? And now I'm minus 12, because I'm Kazuya with a shit power crush. I was just trying to apply the counterplay to beat out his cheap bullshit with the guard break, which again, it shouldn't even be in the fucking game. Delete guard breaks, please. But for now, this is the counterplay we have available to us, and now he can just block after forward 2-2. He doesn't have to commit to the third hit. And now I don't know that he's gonna block here. I'm just trying to account for the other three options that I know are very scary from that move, from this string. But now I'm minus 12 in his fucking face, and now he gets a 2-1, and guess what? If I try to do this shit at the wall, now he can wall splat me with 2-1 himself, and I'm wall splatted and I get big fucking damage. If you're one of the characters that's lucky enough to have a safe power crush, then this exchange for you is always more or less in your favor, right? So fuck you for having a safe power crush, first of all. You safe power crush having bitch characters can suck my nuts. But Kazuya doesn't have that. He's got a minus 12 on block power crush, and that's it. I've got Shikaway in heat, and that's it. So if I'm not in heat, I get a minus 12 power crush. So I'm fucked up for trying to apply the appropriate counterplay because I think that the Clive is going to do the cheap shit. He decides to stop and not do the cheap shit, which then leads into more cheap shit because he can punish my fucking power crush on block. So fuck this. Remove the guard break, and you fix this entire exchange. That's all that you really need to worry about with fixing that exchange, is just delete the fucking guard break. Delete all guard breaks. So, that's it for Clive, but that's a lot of shit. He needs a fuck ton of nerfs. He's insanely fucking busted right now, and all those things need to be toned down, and I think he'd be a reasonable character that people would actually somewhat enjoy fighting. So Anna is the most objectively broken, strongest character in the game right now. She is fucking ridiculous, and a lot of it has to do with her stance mix-ups and her frames in general. What they did with Anna was they really deleted a lot of her identity in this game. A lot of it has to do with the fact that she's got safer lows now, and fucking and tracks a lot more. She used to be linear, and her lows all used to get her killed for attempting them. Okay, classically you would get like minus 16, minus 17 punishers on her low pokes. And that's the point of the character. If she hits you, she hits like a truck. If she fucking if she tries to poke you out with lows, she's gonna pay for it with her life. Because her lows are that strong on hit. But now she's got super strong lows, even better than the lows she used to have, and they're safer on block, which deletes her identity. Again, all you're doing is you're putting a bunch of horse shit in the game that's insanely hard to deal with, super egregious to deal with, and you're removing character identities. So you're fucking the game in multiple ways by adding this type of shit. So what we're going to try to do with this shit is bring back some character identity with all characters that we've talked about so far. I want to bring back identity with all of them. And I want to simultaneously nerf the bullshit that just doesn't need to be here because it's too much for the defender to even attempt to deal with. So, with Anna, the first thing I want to talk about is her down back 4. Down back 4 guarantees a heat engager, as you saw there, if it's a counter hit. This is a crazy low, because it's only minus 13 on block, and it does a lot on counter hit. The only character that can launch this low here, Kazuya and Eddy. That's it. Everybody else, you gotta low parry that shit, if you want any damage at all. So, ridiculous. That needs to go to at least minus 15. Make her lows shit again. They've always been shit. They don't need to be what they are right now. There's multiple lows we're going to discuss that are fucking stupid. For no reason either. There's no reason for them to be this fucking good. Again, goes against the character identity. Fuck these concepts. 2 more exchanges that are insane are her down back 2s. This is a 15 frame whip punish tool that then forces a mix. multiple different ways. So after she hits you with a down back 2, she's +8. Okay? So that's mix number 1. Immediately after that, she gets into pleasure time. Okay? Once she's in pleasure time, she's going to mix you again. She can mix you with a low. That's +28 on hit. Or she can mix you with one of the bazooka attacks that she can either give you the debuff, which is kind of like an install for Anna, except it's like a reverse install. It weakens the opponent rather than buffing Anna. She gets chip damage every time she hits you, no matter what, and it stacks with heat. Stupid shit. I think that debuff should be removed, honestly. But if she keeps it, whatever. Let's just make this mix a little less egregious here. So down back 2 being +8 on hit guarantees a mix, okay? But then you get this fucking low that's +28 on hit. So instead of that, I should just be allowed to stand block. If I call out the low, great. But if I call out the low here, again, she's minus goddamn 13. I'm not super upset about that with Kazuya, but with any other character in the game, no one else gets to launch that. Just Kazuya. And I am super upset about that, because this low then gets to set her up for another mix. She's mixing you twice in a row. Right? So this exchange here is a 15-frame whip punish tool into stance mix, into potential low launcher, or potential fucking mid launcher. And guess what? Because I'm minus goddamn 28 after the second hit connects this low here, I can't do anything. I have to guess. I have to guess. You aren't even allowed to be... Not a pixel of sidestepping will be even allowed there. You're minus 20 goddamn 8. So what they could do is bring that fucking low down to like +5. That way, she gets to use some... She gets to pressure you still, but the mix of launching mid or launching low is eliminated entirely. She has to pressure you with other moves that aren't launchers, but will still clip you if you try to sidestep either direction, right? But right now, with this low being +28, it's a true, bona fide, 100% mix. You have no idea. You guess for your life. You either duck and hopefully block the low and then launch Punisher for the low, or you stand guard, hopefully block the mid, and then 13-frame punish the mid. But if you guess wrong, you're getting launched either way. And all of this from a 15-frame whip punish. She'd sooner go for that over a down forward 2 launch. It's crazy. It's actually fucked up. And the amount of tracking this move has is ridiculous, too. That's another reason why down back 2 is so good. So, 1, remove the tracking on down back 2, give it a little bit less utility, make it so we can at least step it one side. It's down back 2, so let's step it to the right, please. Why can't I step this right? It's a down back 2 move, right? I should be able to always step that right, no matter the range, no matter the timing. Stepping it left, I'll get clipped. That's fair. But, +28 fucking low? Are you fucking kidding me? And it's safe on block at -9, and she doesn't even have to worry about what's going to happen if she transitions into stance, because this only transitions into stance on hit. She can exit on hit, it's an auto stance transition. She can exit on block, it doesn't do shit. She just gets -9 and she's fine. So it's almost always worth going for. It's a 15-frame poke that can force a mix-up twice in a row. What the fuck? And it tracks both sides. Look, dude. It's like the ultimate just do it button. Her 15-frame whip punish tool is still down forward 2, but again, you'd sooner go for down back 2, because you're forcing the mix on the opponent for a safe mid that tracks both sides, that puts her in the stance only on hit, so the Anna doesn't have to worry about you killing her forward on block. So make that low +5 on block, and honestly, this shit should not be -13. It should be -16. Or -18 even, because it's a crazy, stupid, fucking good low, and we need to stay with goddamn character identity, please. All lows for Anna should potentially get her killed. That's the risk she plays. So, fuck this. Bring her goddamn identity back, make the goddamn lows a lot less egregious than they currently are, and stop ruining the character. So that exchange is fucked right up, man. Fucked right up. This string is a personal pet peeve of mine. I hate this shit. I feel like we should be able to sidestep the second hit, man. Come on. The second hit is 28 frames to impact. Why in the fuck can't I step this? It's so dumb. We should be allowed to sidestep the second hit on reaction, and then maybe the low extension can realign with a sidestepping opponent. That's fair. But the fact that we're forced to block this, it's a heat engager, it's +5 on block and heat. Does a lot of damage, it's a natural combo. Also wall splats. And it's 15 frames to impact from a forward input, so it's technically 17 frames to impact. But because it comes out of a forward input, the opponent can choose to delay that, hold the forward for a bit, then do 3-2, and they automatically will realign with you, okay? So it's got a lot more realignment than you think. I didn't delay it at all, but they can choose to delay it, and then all of a sudden it realigns naturally. It's frustrating as fuck to deal with that. It's a mid string heat engager that's -7 on block, so there's really no counterplay to the mid. Just gotta respect it. Just eat it, block it, take your chip damage, and hopefully take your turn back. That's all you can fucking do here. Can we please have some more counterplay to this fucking string? It's so goddamn abusable right now. Like, I don't understand. Like, the only thing we can do that beats this out every time is a power crush. And again, that's not fucking counterplay. Power crush is never counterplay. You're still taking a shit ton of damage. So, yeah, just make the second hit sidesteppable on reaction. So that it's only really good on hit. That would be great. It should not be abusable on block. This is a stupid fucking horseshit scenario. Homing plus on block long range move. That's it also guarantees a follow-up on hit. And that damage, dude. 21 fucking damage for a homing plus on block move. No homing move should be plus on fucking block. Fuck this. Delete that entire concept. We should be able to step this goddamn move. Maybe not either direction. She can catch you if you're sidestepping it right or something. Fine, because sidestep right should be the weakness of the character anyways. So if we can sidewalk her right and she wants to do 4-4-2 to catch that, I am okay with that. But then I should be able to step it to the left, and then it's fair. But also +4 on block? No. Minus on block. Not punishable, but definitely minus. So if she counter hits me with a 10-frame 2-jab, she immediately gets hammer chance, and then she can do a heat engager from there. So 2 is +1 on block when she goes into hammer chance. So you can still potentially interrupt her here, but there's like no risk to this. This is a plus on block 10-frame attack that puts her in the stance. So it's already good for that. And then, if she connects with this on counter hit, she gets a guaranteed follow-up with her hip slap thing, whatever the fuck. 3+4, I think that is. So that's all guaranteed. She gets 48 damage. She gets a guaranteed follow-up in heat. It's a 48 damage complete fucking bullshit scenario because it comes out of a jab. It's a 10-frame jab that's +1 on block. No risk to the Anna at all. She can fish for that all day. And the moment she sees those pink sparks flash up on the screen, the moment an Anna player will see that and confirm the counter hit, and then you get 48 damage for free. Off of a jab, dude. You want to watch some bullshit? Atif Butt playing Anna will do nothing but fish for counter hits with standing 2. And he fucking wins tournaments with that. 2 on counter hit into pleasure time or into hammer chance is fine, but you shouldn't guarantee a follow-up. Maybe guarantee some extra plus frames into a pleasure time, or a hammer chance mix. Fine. But a fucking guaranteed follow-up into a heat engager, into a fucking heat dash follow-up with 3+4? No. That's too much for a 10-frame attack that you can just check the opponent with over and over again until you land it, and then finally you're just good. You're good to go. The last thing I want to talk about with Anna is her bazooka damage. So this is, again, another low that's fucking stupid good from Anna. They just got rid of all her fucking weaknesses by giving her good lows. Her weakness used to be she had really bad lows. Now she doesn't have any fucking bad... I mean, she's still got bad lows, but she's no reason to fucking use those anymore because these lows are fucking insane. Look at this shit. This is insane, dude. Why are you giving these fucking bazooka moves so much damage? This is crazy. Oh, and that's just disgusting. I mean, that can floor blast, or sorry, wall blast, wall break right there. So the damage of all of her bazooka tools, whether she shoots a bazooka at you or hits you with the bazooka itself, the damage is a huge thing that needs to go. This move here does a lot of chip damage, but she loves to end combos with this shit too. Look at that crazy damage. She'll end the combo with this, and it still does crazy, stupid damage. That last hit there, when she ends a combo with it, is like fucking an extra, like, 16, 17 damage with just the last fucking hit. When everything is fully scaled, it still does that stupid level of damage. So the bazooka damage in general needs to be heavily toned down. I wouldn't say cut that shit in half, but, you know, take like a quarter of the damage and get it out of here. It's way too fucking much. Developers of this fucking game, stop it. Like, are we playing Tekken or are we playing ass? Right now we're playing ass. Let's go back to playing Tekken, please. So Fahkumram is what people think is very well balanced in this game. A lot of people will assume that he is, and he's not awful. I don't think he's terribly well balanced. But he's definitely really fucking strong. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he's got insane range. Insane range. The best range in the game. Okay, this guy, I mean, just look at him. Obviously his range is going to be fucked up. But in Tekken 8, this is a volatile game. Extremely volatile game. Shit is all over the place at all fucking times. One character can suck at one thing 1 minute and be amazing at it the next minute, and all he fucking did was pop heat, and who the fuck knows what's going on anymore, right? Things just change on a fucking dime. So, in that type of an environment, it's very hard for a character to say definitively that they're the best at something at all times, right? Because you got so much shit happening. So, there aren't really any characters that can claim to be number one in the game at any one thing all the time. Fahkumram is the exception there. He is definitively the best character in the game when it comes to range, and nobody even comes close except for Clive, and even then, Fahkumram's range is better than Clive's. So, there is no debate there. Fahkumram has the best range in the game, and that's his claim to fame. That's the thing that he gets to say he is the best at, definitively, in this fucked up game. Fortunately, range isn't the biggest problem, but it certainly is when you fight a character like this guy. And so, the first thing I think that needs to be looked at is the fact that his standing 3 can hit at range 3.05, 3.03-ish, depending on how far away, like as you saw there, right? I'm going to stand about this distance away from Fahkumram, and I'm going to let him fucking do the kick, and he fucking connects it at over range 3. I'd say tone the range hitbox down to the kick a little bit. Just shrink it down to like 2.7. 2.7 range is great, because you still account for beating out down forward ones, and there's not a single jab in the game that connects from that far away as well. So you beat out jabs, and you beat out down forward ones, and down forward 2 attempts, and hop kicks, all from being at that range, but you're also in a position where you're not immediately controlling the neutral 100%. Because at least at range 2.7, I can also somewhat compete with my back 4, but at range 3.05, my shit just does not fucking reach at that range, where his standing 3 will. So he gets to dictate shit with a poke that I can't even do with my long-range punish half the time. So, it's fucking ridiculous that he gets to control the neutral from that far away with a 13-frame mid-poke that's +2 on normal hit and gives a shit ton of mental stack the moment it connects on block. Because he can do 3-4, which is -12 on block, but it's a mid-mid string. He can do 3-1, which is a mid-high. You want to duck the high, but then you're afraid to get hit by the mid, so you don't want to duck the high. But you can, if you stand block, then he can do a 3-1-1. Now he's reset the neutral, and he's given some pushback, but it doesn't matter because, for him, anyways, because he's got a fuck ton of moves with a fuck ton of range that control the neutral even at that range. So he doesn't care when he does something like this, right? He can do fucking shit like this all day. And guess what? He gets to set you right back up for it. He's neutral on block. You can't do shit. You can't jab check him here. You can't do fucking down forward 1 or anything like this. But he can still check you with a 13-frame mid poke. And he's only neutral on block here. So you can also do this, and if you think your opponent is going to duck the 3rd hit, right? So minus 14, so you still get a punish for dealing with that if you block it, but you want to duck that third hit so that he can't then reset that position again and put you in yet another mental stack blender, which is by pressing the 3 button, right? So there's also, that's a lot for the opponent to deal with. I'm not saying he shouldn't have this mix-up and this mental stack. That's kind of, again, character identity. He's allowed to have that. Long range is another thing that's part of this character's identity. So I don't want to delete his range, and I don't want to delete his standing 3 string options. But something's got to give, because right now he is mental stack the character. He's doing it all from a 13-frame mid, and if we watch tournament performances, you can see even the best players in the world that are winning like Tekken World Tour finals, like Lohai, for example. Mogul fucked Lohai's ass up with this guy because he was controlling him with mental stack. In grand finals of a tournament, the best player in the world currently can't deal with this dude's mental stack, which means that there's obviously something going on with this guy. Something's got to give. And the thing that's got to give is allowing us to have a little more counterplay by potentially backdashing out of range, or allowing him to have less utility with that one mid by not allowing him to control neutral at range 3.05. That's fucking stupid. So 2.7 is more than fair. Again, you account for hop kicks, down forward ones, down forward twos, jabs, but I can also fight back with my long range attacks as well. At range 3.05, I don't get to do that, neither does most characters. So, he's the only one that gets to dictate the match at all times from that range. So, that's just insane. And then you couple that with the fact that he's got a crazy good backdash, he's got a shit sidestep, because he's so big, but he's got a really good backdash. So you can get out of dodge anytime he wants, and then he just throws his fucking kick out at you. That's how you play the character. Backdash, backdash, 3. Backdash 3, backdash, backdash 3. That's how you fucking play Fahkumram, and then eventually you'll add the mental stack up, you throw out your down 4s here and there. You know, this move is ridiculous. It's minus 4 on hit, for sure, no problem, that's good. Plus minus 15 on block, so it's a great low if you block this shit. But it's a chunky fucking low. It's a chunky low. He mixes it with, you can also do 4-4-3. He does this, and then he can do this. So he mixes you with 4-4-3, and then he does standing 3. You can't do anything here, because he's plus 4, chunky low into stupid mid. Chunky low, stupid mid. Down 4 on counter hit, gives insane Oki, and it's 14 frames to impact. So it's a super fast, chunky ass low. For a 14 frame low, this does a fuck ton of damage, man. Doesn't look like much, but then you factor in the frame data, and it's 14 frames fast. It's a good thing it's minus on hit, because goddamn that stacks up fast, very, very quick. And it's all non-recoverable health, right? So by the time you're actually like clue in, like 10 seconds of the round have gone by, and you're standing there blocking all day trying to deal with the standing 3 pressure. Meanwhile, you're eating these chunky lows too. By the time before you even know it, your health bar is like half of what it was. You don't even know where the fucking time went. Like, that's what this dude does. He just stacks massive, big fucking chunky hits, one on top of the other. The trade-off is he's exceptionally punishable. All of his lows, Kazuya can launch every single one of them. So, that's okay. But at tip range, if he places his lows really well, even then Kazuya doesn't get a full launch for a lot of the lows. You have to, while standing forward, punish the lows a lot of the time. And then other characters suffer from the same problem. So, honestly, I think the frames are fine. I think the low damage is fine. I think the fact that down 4 is like basically a homing move. It tracks both sides incredibly well. Incredibly well. You can't step this move. But the frames are fair. The frames make it fair. You get hit by that, you just take your turn back. But all that shit adds up. So, and guess what? That also contributes to the mental stack, because now you're looking at your health bar wondering why the fuck is half of it gone when I haven't even got launched yet. Half of it's gone and I've got no recoverable health, and I'm still like I haven't been able to land a hit on this guy because he's so far away all the time. That's Fahkumram in a nutshell. Very beatable, very fair character, but he controls neutral far too much with his insane range. So a little bit of toning down on the range would go a long way to making this character a lot more viable to fight against for a lot of the cast. Like, fighting him with Kazuya is a fucking nightmare because my range is shit most of the time with this character. And then there's also the guard break. I don't think guard break should be in the game for the millionth fucking time. This is another exchange, again, from a standing 3. It starts from a standing 3. So, he can initiate his guard break here, right? At this point, I'm free to launch his ass. If he medium charges this shit, which he easily can, oftentimes sidestep block will not will just outright just force you to re-block that. It realigns because of the medium charge. The no charge, no realignment. The full charge, no realignment. The medium charge can realign. So you put all 3 together, and now you don't know what the fuck to do. You can potentially try to sidestep interrupt it with a launch every time. But if you get hit by the fucking medium charge, you're kind of fucked. If he goes for the medium charge, you're kind of fucked. There you go. And now he gets a guaranteed follow-up with back 1. Disgusting Oki. Disgusting scenario on counter 8 that's really fucking scary. So what I think not needs to happen, but what can happen, what wouldn't be the worst idea, is get rid of the guard break altogether. It's fucking stupid. You should only be able to go into Rama stance if you connect that shit on hit. And instead of making it so that the guard break is the only thing that puts him into Rama stance, you can potentially make it so Rama stance can come out on hit from any of these. I think that would be a good change. If you get hit by any of those, then you immediately get fucked over into the Rama stance, and then you have to guess what's going to happen next. Because Rama stance isn't that scary of a stance. It's got like a low that's kind of tricky to deal with. Everything else you just block, and then if you see the unblockable, you jab, check, interrupt. It's not that hard to deal with. The low is the only scary thing in that whole fucking stance. Oh, I mean, the throw is kind of tricky too, but barely any Fahkumram's throw, and it's a reactable throw, so you can duck and react to it. So I think that if they change that up and make him go into Rama with his install, after all of these hits connect at any time, then I think that would be a fair change. Because the guard break just needs to be eliminated outright. The fully charged version of this should be hella fucking plus on block. Hella plus on block. Like +6 or something would be great. +5, +6. Nothing unreasonable, but still +6. That way, if you sidestep and you immediately try to go for a launch, you potentially get counter hit by the second hit of the string, maybe the medium charge, and then he's in Rama. And if you stand there and block, or if you stand there and try to interrupt, because say maybe you're afraid of him going for something like this, so you want to hard duck this. You want to call that out and hard duck this. Now, if we add in the other option here. Hard ducking that homing move now is going to get you fucking potentially thrown into the Rama stance blender. So there are many ways of getting hit by that sequence with his install out and then being put into Rama stance. Having the guard break do that for him is just fucking stupid. Blocking that sequence should beat it outright, in my opinion. And if you want some actual counterplay to try to get some damage, that's when you have to take risks with sidesteps and timing mix-ups and all that stuff. One of the better balanced DLC characters, but he's definitely not as weak or as exceptionally well balanced as most of the community seems to think he is. That mental stack formula he's got right now, and that standing 3 range, and the fact that he's got an insane backdash on top of that, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And all that is really, really fucking scary. So, if he can make low-high his bitch, he's not a fucking weak character. He's very, very strong. So just toning just the little nuances down that we just said will not fuck with his identity at all, and it will give the defender a lot better opportunity to defend against the Fahkumram, and it's just going to be a better situation for everybody involved, personally speaking. I think that's fair. With Armor King, there aren't a whole lot of problems with him. Again, like Fahkumram, he's quite balanced for a DLC character. I'm very impressed. But there's definitely some fucking cheese with this character, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is his while standing 2. This is a 12 frame, safe on block, counter hit launching mid. It's a just do it button. Again, just fucking do it, because why not? Because fuck it. You can set it up pretty easily, too. So this ridiculous sequence is fucking scary. It's fucking scary. So you're +3 into a 12-frame counter launching mid. Okay? Stupid fucking move. So you cannot mash here. You want to sidestep into with punish. Sidestep it to the left with your -3. You can't sidestep it to the right. So you get this, and then you're good to go. The problem is, this sets up is, it's sidestep 2, which is a very fucking cheap move itself, because it's only a -12 low. And it wouldn't be so bad, being -12, if it didn't perfectly set up as while standing 2. What that while standing 2 does, after the sidestep 2 connects on hit, is it forces your opponent to move out of the way. They don't get to do anything but move. So the Armor King then gets to set up whatever the fuck the Armor King wants. So Armor King is a very set-up character, right? And I appreciate that about Armor King. This still kept his identity a lot. There's a fuck ton of Armor King in Armor King in this game. His setups are sick. They're so much fun. He's one of my main characters, okay? Armor King I've been playing Armor King since Tekken 6. I love Armor King. Kazuya, Heihachi, Armor King. Those are my 3 mains in this game. I only really play Kazuya, but Heihachi and Armor King are right up there with him in my mind. I fucking love this character. I know a lot about Armor King, I love his setups, and I love using this bitch. But goddammit is he cheap, okay? And a lot of this stuff has to do with this fucking move right here. So, we're forced to move out of the way, but we don't get to, right? We don't get to move out of the way because homing throws exist. So, the best way to just neuter this entire sequence is A, sidestep 2 can stay -12. That's fine. But get rid of homing throws. Because look at this fucking garbage. He's running, he does Shining Wizard. He's running, Shining Wizard. And it's a homing move. He's running, he does fucking giant swing. I don't know what the break is. I can't okay, I'm gonna mash 1. No, it's a 1+2. Okay, I got 1+2 break. Okay, I got the 1 break. I got the 1 break. I'm just guessing here. Okay, I missed the break there. So, again, homing throws, just like we talked about King in part 1, fuck those trash concepts. Homing throws that are command throws with an ambiguous throw break is nonsense. Get rid of that shit. I don't know why the fuck that's in the goddamn game. What we should be able to do here is punish this move on block. This should be just a jab punish on block. Make this -10, and you've solved all the problems. You're not setting us up with a cheap scenario. Jab punish on block is great because if he does go for a homing giant swing, either way, mashing the 1 button, mashing 1 after this, you win. And if he goes for giant swing here, you mash 1 anyways, and you win. You break the throw. So that's fine. That would be good. Then he has to do other things to try to mix you up after that. He doesn't just get a free mix up on block. Although even if you do, it's still going to be a good mix up because if you mash, regardless, it'll be fucking a launch no matter what. So keep this as a launch counter hit launch with the -12 because then it's still an interesting setup. But then it's not a stupid interesting setup because you can now jab punish it. So that'd be a good change. The other thing I want to talk about is this fucking this sequence here at the wall. So he gets this combo, and then you tech roll into safety, and you could potentially die to the up 1. It's a basically guaranteed move. If your immediate response to this, after getting wall comboed with 3-4-1, you go for a tech roll, then you have to block, and he's +4 in your face, right? And if you get hit by it, like we just saw, it will wall splat. You tech roll the other way, you're still +4, or he's still +4 in your face. You get hit by it, you get wall splat either way. Why does that come out of a move that's up 1? This is up 1, right? It's all this fucking move is. It's a slow move. Plus on block. but it's got no tracking whatsoever to sidestep left, and it's got no tracking to sidewalk right. So it's a very linear move. Sidestep left, sidewalk left kills it. Sidewalk right kills it. Tracks to sidestep right. And that's it. So sidestep right dies. But other than that, it's a very linear fucking move. Like, you can beat it either direction with stepping. So, giving him that sequence from a linear attack is dumb. It's either make that neutral on block or less plus on block, so that we can do things, maybe get rid of the chip damage as well, so we don't have to worry about taking extra damage just for tech rolling. If we stay on the ground, we risk eating Armor King's ground throws, which nobody wants to eat that shit, because you could potentially get re-wall splat with a ground throw. You know, it's fucked up with the down back 2+4 ground throw that puts you right back on the wall, or the down back 1+3 ground throw that throws you over his shoulders. That's been neutered in this game. They might actually be, it might be good to buff that down back 1+3 ground throw, make it do more damage, and then neuter the damage on the down back 2+4 ground throw. But, you know, that's we can debate about that. The setup that I'm talking about with this shit is a little too much. So, yeah. Get rid of the chip damage. Maybe don't make it +4 on block. Maybe delete the idea that it just realigns in general, because you don't even need to really realign with the opponent either for this sequence. He just presses up 1 and it realigns automatically. Even though I tech rolled, which is technically the equivalent to a sidestep. Change up the the properties of the move up 1 so that it's not an immediate fuck you scenario against the wall. You're now +4 in his face, and now Shining Wizard is like, oh, it's like free at that point. Into wall split, into combo, into fuck you. So, Armor King is well balanced, and his setups are badass, but stuff like that is a little bit too much. You've already got your combo, you already got your wall splat, you already got your wall combo damage. Now you're just kind of resetting the scenario again, in a really cheesy way. I don't know, it's kind of dishonest. So, I don't like that aspect of Armor King. And that's pretty much all I got to say about the character. Other than that, he's got a lot of really good shit, but he's nowhere near problematic. He's not an issue right now. So last but not least, for the roster for now, for the end of Season 2 anyway, is Miary Zo, our newest character in Tekken, period. Everybody loves the tits. It's fucking great to have her. She's awesome. Madagascar representative, and extremely well balanced. So far, Fahkumram was pretty well balanced, Armor King is really well balanced, and Miary Zo is exceptionally well balanced. Great character. Love the design. But I don't think there's like one thing I can think of that's even remotely annoying for sure, and then one other thing that's a nitpick that I have. So we'll go over the nitpick real quick. Okay. So the nitpick is this, not this fucking string. The nitpick is this move here. It's a really good low for her. It's only +1 on block. You can only sidewalk it right, and even then it's tricky. But you can sidewalk it right in her face if you time the sidewalk really, really well. Okay. It's -14 on block, so a lot of characters can get a launch here. But you cannot low parry this. This is an unlow parryable low because the tail counts as a weapon. And I think that they can change that. They can make that low parryable so that more of the cast gets a little bit better punish, because this is a great low for her. Yeah, so on countered it's +12. Normal hit it's +1. High crushes immediately. So it's a great low for her. The only thing I think it needs, and it's 20 frames to impact, so nobody's seeing this and nobody's reacting to it. It's like, and it tracks a fuck ton to both sides, as we saw a second ago, right? So it is a ton of utility low. There's almost no downside to this. The only downside is that it's -14. So it's not even launch punishable. So, like, if you're a Miary Zo player, spam the fuck out of this low, because it's amazing. It's an amazing tool. It's a great pressure tool. +1 isn't super egregious for the opponent either. But she can sure as fuck chip away at your health with this thing all day, because it is worth spamming. Okay, she can just do this all the time, and there's not really a lot of risk to it because she can't get low parried. So, there's no real reason for her to use any other lows except this one. She's also got down back 4 and down back 3. Like, down back 4 is a really lousy low. Okay, lousy. It crushes nothing. It's +1 on hit. Same thing as down 3, but it crushes nothing, and it's very, very thin. And she is hopping there, but she's not airborne status, so she can't crush lows with this low. So it does fuck all. It's a garbage low. Down back 3 is another one that's terrible. Because this is only +5 on hit, on counter hit. It's a launcher, but it's launch punishable by the whole cast because it's also a stagger low. So she's dead, -26. So those two lows, down back 4, down back 3, are not that viable for Miary Zo. They're very, very risky lows. One gets easily interrupted and counter hit launched, and the other one gets blocked and launched. So this one is the only low that's worth going for ever. And why would you ever use a different low besides this one if you're Miary Zo? It's plus on hit, barely punishable on block, tracks very well to both sides, immediately high crushes. Gives a counter hit property as well. Super sick fucking move. But kind of stupid as well. If this could be low parried, it would give her an incentive to use other lows, like this, or this, right? So, because people are just going to be looking for this shit all day, right? So I think this being, not being able to crush anything is kind of useless right now. So what they should do is they should make a change to this attack, give it some more utility. By making that little jump, that little hop there, give that airborne status so it has low crushing utility. Yeah, that'd be great. Then this is a high crush. Then you got a perfect mix of both worlds, and you have reasons to use them both. You have no reason to use this right now. Just give it a reason to be used. So that's actually kind of a buff that I'm advocating for. Give this airborne status. And then this, make it a low parryable low. And then we've got a perfect system of lows in our repertoire for Miary Zo, and she's got a reason to use all 3 of them. Or you could just make it much more susceptible to sidewalk right or something. That would be a great way to potentially nerf the move as well. So sidewalking it right, beating that out wouldn't be a bad idea either. But if you want to keep the tracking, then make it so that we can low parry that. And the other thing about Miary Zo is, I think personally she has the tiniest hurt box in the game currently, so adjusting her hurt box so that it's maybe Xiaoyu level, Xiaoyu size, would be nice. Even a little bigger than Xiaoyu, maybe like Reina size. Like Reina, Xiaoyu, Miary Zo have the smallest hurt boxes in the game currently, and she's got the smallest one, I'd say. And it's just making her movement ridiculous. She doesn't have the best sidestep out of all the females. But because of her tiny hurt box, she's got like the 4th best sidestep in the entire female cast, next to Lili, Alisa, and Zafina in that order. And those 3 ladies have a very unique sidestep animation. So their sidestep is incredible because of the unique animation that they have. Like, their sidestep is kind of like this. Instead of just a this motion, like every other sidestep is, they kind of sidestep like this. Top of their body first, end of their bottom of their body comes in later, okay? A couple of milliseconds later. It's like a snake motion. It's really fucking weird. But those 3 characters have that. Next up is her. She's got a ridiculous sidestep. She can just maneuver around fucking everything. Watch CBM matches using her in tournaments recently. He's demonstrating that in real time. So check that shit out and you'll see exactly how insane her movement is. So, a little bit of a hurt box expansion on this character would do her wonders. It's so fucking hard to hit her right now. So yeah, she's very well balanced. She's not that scary. Her damage is completely fair and reasonable. But trying to hit this bitch is nearly impossible. So it would be really cool to have just a bit of a hurt box expansion, and that's fucking it. So yeah, that does it for what I would nerf on every single character in this game. This is part 2. I hope you guys, hope it helped. Hope the devs fucking watch these videos so that they can maybe potentially learn something themselves. If you guys have any more inputs, feel free to share them in the comments. We're always open to fucking figuring out other things. I don't know everything about this game. I don't know everything about all these characters. I just know the things that I've studied the shit out of in the lab, and these are the issues that I've come across, having been spent many hours with every single character, labbing them all in either on stream or off stream, right? So, Tekken 8 is shit right now in Season 2. Season 3, let's hope they fucking bring it back. All the nerfs on these characters, plus universal nerfs to the shit we've already talked about with guard breaks, wall splatting, H smashes, gray health deleting mechanics, fucking all that stuff has got to go. 10-frame wall splatting moves, that's enough of that shit in Tekken 8. We don't need that in Tekken 8 unless you're going to neuter the damage on all that shit. And like universal changes like that, maybe an adjustment to heat where we have to earn the mechanic instead of it just being given to us every fucking round would be great. And then the minor adjustments to every character we've discussed, aside from the shit ton of adjustments required for the truly broken characters we've discussed. And then I think Tekken 8 has the potential to be the greatest Tekken game in the history of Tekken. It really, truly fucking does. I still think it does. So, yeah. See you guys in Season 3. Fuck yeah. Hopefully they fix this shit.